Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Persona Fight Club. Tonight we have the PFC Monthly number 25 on PC. I'm joined here with my co-commentator. Oh my god, I'm messing up words already. Gav, how you doing today, Gav?
Doing pretty good. Excited to watch some Persona. How about you?
I'm super excited to watch the Persona. Always love this game, the high octane action that we get to see. And we got a lot of really strong players here coming in, but also a lot of new faces as well. A lot of names that I don't recognize, but it's always an opportunity for players to prove themselves and show what mettle they got. So, anybody of note that you're interested in seeing in so far, Gav?
I see a Yosuke on my screen already, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, that is right. Started off with Yosuke, always a strong one, very popular character here in PFC that we see a lot of. We have a lot of strong players like, Luke Sky, for example, and Boobus I know is in this tournament as well. A lot of strong representation for this character. And Sukukaja, another strong member of this. I haven't seen them play personally, but this is going to be a strong opportunity for them to get some crazy action in, and they're going to be going up against Nightwolf here. So really strong Mitsuru player. Admittedly, I have not seen much of her play per se, but I hear a lot of murmurs about how good she is.
I was playing against her before the bracket started, and I did not win, but I was playing my Yosuke, so we'll see how she does against this one.
Does she play Shadow or normal?
Shadow, she was playing against me, so I believe she'll
Okay,
be Shadow here.
So the real test is that we better drop that Tentara link. That is admittedly the hardest parts of the Shadow Mitsuru combos, but if you hit that, you're pretty much golden on the combo. But yeah, Shadow Mitsuru just does a ton of damage. So it's definitely something that Sukukacha is definitely gonna have to be careful of. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they maneuver through it all.
Especially with Yosuke not having a lot of HP, you get hit once or twice and you die.
Yeah.
So you just gotta make sure to not let that happen.
It also doesn't admittedly help that Yosuke normally doesn't do a whole lot of damage. He does get good cash outs, provided you get the right hits for it, but you really do have to find your hits. But where Yosuke really does excel at is his neutral, having some of the best mobility in the game, a lot of ways to get to different parts of the screen very fast as well. Definitely something that Sukukacha is going to have to leverage, especially as Mitsuru admittedly does have a bit of a hard time, sniping people out of the air. She does have, Persona, 2D and 5D, I believe the moves are, but that can catch them like that, but it's they hit at very specific angles, so they are a bit challenging to use to, get him out of there. But again, we can see how Nightwolf will approach that when it comes to it.
Yeah, so we'll just see how she adapts to playing against the Yosuke.
Alrighty, so hopefully the players are not too shy to get started soon. I think Chris needs to give them the signal to play, and we should be good to go. Mothership, do we have anything to shill for our people in chat tonight? Alrighty, so Mothership has told us that we have nothing to shill except, the Persona Fight Club Discord. So please type in !Discord. If you're not in that Discord for some reason, y'all gotta get your asses in there, man. Such a great community, a lot of players that's come in learning the game, becoming really good at the game too, but also, just a really nice place to hang out with. And, being a part of this community for years, I definitely will say, I found a second family here almost, so.
Yeah, I've only been here for a little over half a year now, and I've already made a lot of friends, so just join up and have fun.
Alrighty, but now getting to the match here, this is where we get started. Already round start, first blood going tonight with already trying to use that 2D to catch Sukukaja, as we talked about earlier. Alright, nice pokes here. Gonna push further to the corner here, but Sukukaja gonna get some momentum here, trying to turn the situation around here. Dak attack 2A AOA! Dak unfortunately wasn't able to make it to the tournament, but we still get to see his spirit in action here.
That's gonna hurt.
This is going to be a lot of damage here for sure. Definitely don't even need to spread the Shadow Frenzy. Yep, ends it with DP, but puts Sukukaja in Awakening, so not sure if I agree with it if we're using Super per se. But here we go. Speaking of Awakening, we're going to have access to Sukukaja, not to be confused with their name here. Gonna cash out, get some nice damage here, get the untech, forces the DP. That's a burst stat, yep. Although I don't agree with the burst personally, because yeah, now Sukukaja gonna be taking the route.
Oh.
Commentator's curse. Commentator's curse, but you have one more chance, you just need to touch them once.
one hit, and then you go into the next round with burst advantage, especially over a shadow character. Not having your burst puts you.
Why did we just do that? Flip in their face! Oh my god. Okay, well, there you
we
go.
go.
Kunai are gonna be taking it. Had me a little scared there because I'm like, okay, we just doing tricks in front of Nightwolf and we're not killing her? Like, come on. Alright, the lockdown here already at the start with the 5D. The AOA again, very difficult to block online. This game does have rollback, but you know, rollback is not saving us from universal overheads. Oh my god, the AOA again, we're just gonna cash out and get more damage. Sukukaja has no respect for Nightwolf at all. Gonna get the poison combo here. It's the flip, flip, flip. Knockdown here. Nice DP. Alrighty, and then there you go. Just keeping the pressure ongoing. I'm really liking how Sukukaja is making great use of their movement here, but those kunais are not good. Ads burst out of there. And there you go.
Well, pretty convincingly too.
Yeah, Sukukaja definitely very, very confident with their Yosuke. I really did like how they were moving around. What do you think Nightwolf has to change up in order to better pin down Sukukaja and like get those confirms that they need to secure rounds?
Try not to let them just attack you head on. Just like if you get that one counter hit, you can kill them. So you just gotta make sure they respect your defense a little bit more.
For sure, for sure. I mean, we have seen quite a bit of DPs from Nightwolf on defense. You know, she wasn't afraid to utilize the option when presented it. But I think the main issue is just that there's a lot of times where just Sukukaja was just getting in really fast. And already, like here, as we're seeing, you know, Sukukaja having the momentum here. Nice sweep going. Sweeps are very strong against Mitsuru for sure. Especially, you know, with her poking against, like, with chess property moves like 5A. Definitely really good to use those to get under them.
Seems like Abel's struggling to get her offense going a little bit, but if she can do that, she'll do a lot better here.
And speaking of offense here, gets the corner, had to force Sukukaja to burst, so that way they get Awakening here. But still, this is a very tough proposition for Nightwolf here. I just realized, actually, that she swapped to normal. So she actually is going to have access to Awakening here, but... Oh, drops here, and that was not a drop that Sukukaja wanted, because now they get access to it. Gets the Persona Break as well, but it's not going to bother Yosuke too much. Oh, yeah, back to
yeah. Swap to normal's working out so far. So, T.
For sure, definitely gets a lot more stability, and you know, the way that Nightwolf was bursting last round, I definitely do agree with the swap, because now you get a burst that works for you more defensively than a Shadow Burst would.
You also get your Awakening, so you're gonna live a lot longer.
Yeah, that defense modifier from being an Awakening is such a great, important thing in this game. So it's like, you know, one important like part of the meta of the game is that when you're fighting against a normal character, you want to do your best to minimize how much they get out of Awakening. So just when they're around that range, like Nightwolf, next touch is gonna put them in Awakening right there. But ideally, Sukukaja would have wanted to do a combo to like do as much damage as possible to minimize their Awakening health. Here we go. Now we're going to the west coast here, but gets opened up by Centaur Fu. DP's out of fear again. Nightwolf capitalizing on it and doing some nice clean damage. Wow, what an SP coup. Yeah, SP Coop is one of Mitsuru's best ways to challenge on defense because it is just so blazingly fast, as we saw there. But even then, despite all that, Sukukaja now just one round away from taking the set here, so Nightwolf really needs to be on her game now here.
She's got full burst advantage, and she's got Sukukaja pinned in the corner already. So she's just gotta make sure he doesn't get burst back, because if she does, that's not...
Wow, what a 2D here. Great step on that. Yeah, get the AOA here.
Oh,
Just
no burst.
put the Mary Karen, get some meter here, but you're already at 100, so don't need more. Oh, that GC bait is not good. Alright, there we go. Sukukaja, we're gonna get the combo here, we're gonna get the poison here. Or no poison, never mind, excuse me, no SP. Nice burst. And a throw! There you go. Nightwolf tying up the rounds 1-1. Definitely the swap to normal is doing her a lot of favors here for sure.
Yeah, definitely the right choice there for her. She just needed her Awakening.
Absolutely, yeah. I won't lie, that match was a little close, so it's like, you know, it's hard for me to say if either play will win convincingly, because we just saw amazing adaptation from Nightwolf that second game, especially like, not only did the swap help, but the way that Nightwolf was checking Sukukaja in the air, not letting them approach for free, and capitalizing on punishing Yosuke there definitely helped a lot. And as you mentioned earlier, Yosuke does not have a lot of health to work with, so those mistakes that he makes, very, very punishing for sure.
Yeah, she's just got to make sure to not let his offense go here, because if he gets his offense going, it shouldn't it snowballs.
Sukukaja loves using that DP, but Nightwolf has been very, very consistent at punishing it here, and now it's going to cost your blood there, cost your life.
That's a case of getting touched 2-3 times and dying.
Honestly, I do want to see Sukukaja use DP a little bit less. No, try to block it out more. See how Nightwolf wants to pressure, because admittedly, the way I'm seeing Nightwolf pressure, they are playing a little bit scared of that DP, just not pressing too much into it. And you could blow people up for that by just pressing a button on there. But
it's
what
strong,
a throw
but
here!
Not completely strong. Like, can't rely on it too much, or you'll get killed for it.
Absolutely, yes. Oh, what a pan. Gatches the roll, has to burst. This is Sukukaja's last chance here in SB Coupe, sealing the deal. Nightwolf making it back so quickly. We got that Verizon Fios internet, the way that she got the download on Sukukaja. And that's going to be a very, very clean 2-1 here, going to Nightwolf.
I'm going to take some credit for her running games against me before that set.
You definitely gave her the matchup training, beforehand, that definitely helped. Yeah, so up next, we are going to have Toxic Orange going up against Syl. So both of these players I'm not familiar with. Could you tell me anything about these players by chance, Gav?
Toxic Orange and Syl, they're both relatively new, start around the same time as me. Syl is pretty strong Yukari, along with Toxic Orange winning the last TMN, so he's just got
okay. So we got some beginners here, some very strong beginners at that. I love to see that. I love seeing new blood, new people coming into the game. So, could you tell me anything about how either of these players play? Since, again, I'm not very familiar with them. This is going to be the first time I'm going to see the great Toxic Orange competing, or the great Syl as well.
Toxic Orange is Silly Goose's disciple, so we'll put it at that. He doesn't play normal, but he is very good at converting off of his hits and just got the combos down. I call him Toxic Top Tier because that's all he plays. He only plays the top tiers. Syl, very good, can keep their combos going, and then they'll get you. They'll kill you for messing up. So that's all you need to know. I believe Toxic Orange knocked Syl out of the last TMN, if I remember correctly.
I see. So this is going to be a revenge.
Syl's gotta get the run back.
Okay.
Yeah, Syl's getting the run back here.
Well, we love to see those for sure. So now this is probably going to be another very close match. This is a very interesting matchup. Ken and Yukari, because while Yukari has some of the strongest zoning in the game, with the combination of a really good mobility and also just being able to shoot into her persona to get the aim tracking, Ken does have ways to go through that with Dog, with just like, you could just use 5D, get Dog out of there, and then just call Dog on top of them.
Yeah, if Toxic Orange can get the Dog behind Yukari here, it will definitely do a lot. So this is one of Yukari's only even matchups.
For sure. And, both of these characters, having very, very strong Okizeme with very, very scary high-low to deal with. So it's like, it wouldn't be too surprising to see either player get snowballed once they get set up in the right scenarios with that. And here we go. Already Toxic Orange off to a great start. Getting the block strings going. This is very hard for a lot of characters to deal with, but still, DPing it out. And DP right back.
2A being Ken's fastest button, that's something you always gotta be looking out for.
Absolutely. Ooh, that DP's bad, but we were not able to run in time to punish here, unfortunately. But still, Syl in a very comfortable spot here, already just zoning full screen here. Really liking how Syl is just dictating the pace of the match here right now.
Yeah, staying in the air, trying to keep him and the Dog out. It's working out.
Absolutely. Oh, that JC could have been really, really big, but just was not ready to convert. But that Dog locking down Syl, but Syl just not having any of it. DPing right back. Both of these players, not afraid to use DP, but here we go. Margarita lockdown on deck. Not doing a mix-up, but, you know, still rolls out of fear because Margarula is such a scary, scary super to deal with.
I
Oh
hate
my
going
god.
at that super. I wouldn't be surprised if anyone else does.
There you go. Gets confirmed here. Oh, the drops! Sil just barely alive. Still with the Awakening on deck, but it's not going to matter here at this point. Has to be very careful to not get touched. But, oh my god, Dawn coming from the sky! You know, I'm like Chicken Little, the sky is falling! And that is going to be Sil's life at the cost there. But we move on to round 2 now.
Can never forget Dogs there. Always gotta look out for him.
Absolutely, absolutely. And already here, lockdown in the corner. This is where Toxic Orange wants you. Gets an overhead mix-up with the triple overhead JA. So difficultly hard to block, especially when the Ken player can just input throw at any moment and then just go low. Alright, here we go. Great confirms here. Putting Sil into Awakening here, but Sil having the Awakening with this much health, very high potential to make a comeback, but still Toxic Orange does have that Shadow Frenzy on deck, and we could see a confirm here into it. Are they gonna do it? Oh my god, we're not doing it yet. We're giving Sil one more chance to live, but you're not gonna block this overhead. You're not gonna block your dome, and you're gonna die.
Didn't need to use Frenzy there. Just got it down.
That's a statement, honestly. Not using Shadow Frenzy is like, I feel like it's a little condescending almost to your opponent. It's like, you know, I'm so much better than you, I don't even need to use the thing that makes my character broken to beat you. But, you know, I don't want Sil to take that disrespect. They gotta get around on the board after that. But, you know, I really do feel like, you know, watching out for Dog, that's really the hardest thing for Sil here, because that Dog can just come out randomly. We saw it in the first round where Dog came out right behind them and pretty much took them out for the round, yeah. So it's like, I really do want to see Sil try to like make use of some of their pressure up close a little bit more. I feel like that's where they're kind of lacking, because it's like Toxic Orange has been getting in so much, but oh my god, we're not confirming, no! Alright, the block strings here. Sil just needs to look for an opportunity out, but they've been very good with their DPs here, so just a matter of looking for the gap here, but was just not going to find it, and the pseudo-infinite block string, really hard for a lot of characters to deal with.
Yeah, the way to get out of that, he's got an instant block, and I believe you can jump out and punish, if I remember what Goose told me correctly.
I believe IB roll is really good against a lot of that stuff, but also just if you're not confident in IBing, having super on deck really does help as well.
Yeah, some of the idea with it is on Minazuki, you can dream fog it, but obviously you need to be an Awakening and have the meter. It's not always gonna work. But
yeah, those are the character-specific options. Yeah, like having a counter DP or just having a counter in general like that definitely helps. A Kanji DP uniquely is really good against a lot of those block strings, but unfortunately Yukari doesn't really have anything like that at her disposal. But the DP being horizontal like that, as we just saw there, you know, it definitely does help in those situations, provided you have the spacing. Alright, so Dog is off screen now, so now Sil had to be careful of the Dog coming down just like that. And already stuck in the corner here, once again has to block this pressure here. But nice DP, swapping sides to very big boom for Sil here. Alright, just has to hold the pressure here, blocks his cross up.
That's plus, don't press, yep.
Yes, very challenging to find the gaps in Ken pressure here, just like this. But like Sil does have the meter to super, they just need to find the gap, but they do successfully jump out and escape. Well, we got 7 seconds left. We're not doing a whole lot of damage here, but still, Sil not having a life lead, they need to make some moves here real soon before, oh my god, Toxic Orange, that drop hurts, but here we go. Oh, the drops. No, the TP!
It burst out.
A lot of fumbling here happening, you know. Sometimes we make mistakes. It happens, it's life. But that's the throw, and that's your life. Alright, so that is going to be Toxic Orange taking it 2-0, but still very strong play from both players. You know, I was at the edge of my seat, just seeing how Sil was just navigating it all, but you know, you can only run away from Ken's forever, you know?
Yeah, Ken's terrifying.
Absolutely.
This is not a matchup I see often.
It's not, but it does take us back to vanilla, having Tubbs and Magoo with their very, very strong Akihiko. I've actually fought their Akihiko a couple days ago, and I'm not gonna lie, they were putting in work on me. Like I
Yeah,
would make
good
mistakes
Aki.
on them. They would blow me up for it, respectfully so. Like they have a lot of the confirms down, really, really scary players to go up against. Like even with me playing Margaret into them, which has the matchup advantage, is like there would be times where when I made like minor mistakes or just whiffed something, Tugsy Magoo was not afraid to just, punish me for it and teach me a lesson the hard way afterwards. And then we got Generic Name Brand, another player again I'm not familiar with, but I love to see more Mitsuru play, so happy, ecstatic actually to see them here on the screen.
Yeah, people consider Akihiko one of the lower tier characters, but a good player will kill you. Like in the past NA versus JP crew battles, I believe Phaedra and Masuda both came in and anti-sweep ruled out. So even against top players, Akihiko is going to work if you're good at piloting him.
Yeah, the main, reason that people will argue that Akihiko is weaker than the other characters in the cast, which, by the way, I just want to, say that the game is very balanced. Even with, like, the worst off characters in the game, you will still get a lot of results with them. Like, the main thing is, like, Akihiko's neutral. He has to run in, and he doesn't have a lot of options to force his way in outside of traditional, running and blocking and jumping. But when he does get it, this is a character that does a lot of damage.
Yeah,
and that 5C here overhead, we're not blocking it.
Very fast buttons can kill you in one shot, so you just gotta not let him in.
Absolutely. We're gonna sway out, but gets caught by Generic Name Brand and just running the pressure. Their armor not going to save Tubbsy there. Nice block. I really like how Generic Name Brand is just playing very patiently, just making use of their spacing there because they know that Tubbsy can't really do much once Generic Name Brand's in like the tip of their 5A range. Nice 2A check, nice 5A check. Just, again, just putting up those wall of normals there to make it really difficult for Tubbsy to get in. But Tubbsy, still not afraid despite that. Gets the grab here, gonna get it confirmed. Gets a knockdown, forces the DP out of Generic. But what an air throw! How did that happen? Had to burst that persona break, but it's not gonna matter. Nice dash punch.
Dude, that air throw was nasty.
I don't know how Tubbsy was ready for that.
Dude, he had to just...
What are in the protein shakes? There's gotta be something more to it. Like, what's the secret ingredient?
I think it's Akihiko is the secret ingredient.
I think it's Tubbsy. I think it's elbow grease. That's what we're putting in this combo right now. Pushing them further to the corner here. Getting some nice damage. We're blocking the 5Cs now, though.
This character's so cool.
This character is amazing to watch here. And just Generic Name Brand just trying to keep the monster that is Tubbsy Magoo out and away from them again with these wall of normals, but we were not ready to convert off of that JD there, unfortunately. Basic DP! Oh, you are going to blow up. Assault dive, DP has to force
Burst out, you would have killed.
Burst out, yep.
That's gonna kill.
Nope, we up. We live, yep. Alrighty, we get the 2B there. Oh, 5B fatal counter. You need to kill here, yep. There you go.
I jinxed him there, but I'm seeing some cool stuff. I can't even...
Almost saw heaven with that round, but Generic Name Brand barely able to take it out there. Gonna push Tubbsy to the corner already. Gets the hit up here. Keeping the pressure on going. Just keep stuck in. But what a dub! Tubbsy into the reset. We're just hashing out damage here. Now going for the Oblast, but Generic not taking it. Their name is Generic, but there's a irony to it because they're making, a really unique way with Mitsuru. Making a great use of balling them out here. I really like how they just use 5A. I see a lot of other Mitsurus that like to play a bit more rushed out with their pressure, but Generic Name Brand doesn't mind taking it a bit slow here. But, Tubbsy Magoo just wants to end it super fast. Gets the superhero. Oh my god, your health bar is melting. Could not burst that.
That's what he does best, just killing you if you make a mistake.
Alright, chat is saying we have audio issues, just want to confirm, chat, are we good with the audio now? Is everything okay? hectic first match, by the way. Just a reminder, you know, !Discord, if you're not in the Persona 5 Club now,
It's like it's my turn.
I highly suggest you get it. This game has an amazingly strong community. This game has rollback netcode, if you don't know, on both PS4 and PC as well. So, you know, you get to play this game with very good netcode, play people all around the world, because this tournament is North America and Europe. Deig0z is from Europe. Generic name brand, I believe, is from North America, and we're getting very clean matches here. Heated, just like this one here that we're seeing tonight. So, you know, if you're not playing this game for whatever reason, y'all gotta go pick up this game right now. And y'all gotta go join Persona 5 Club again. !Discord. But back to the match here. Already starting off strong with a throw here. What do you think they're gonna do on offense here, Gav?
Akihiko's just gonna try to kill you, like I said, and then Mitsuru is just gonna try to punish Akihiko for overextending, which is, we see all right there, 1.6k.
Nice
Corner,
6
grab
feint there. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of that. Again, the defensive play from Generic name brand, you know, it's brought them pretty far, but, you know, it might be time to take some initiative, just like Deig0z is here, just dashing in, ignoring the wall of Persona there. Oh, basic DP. Yeah, nice super cancel. Nice super cancel. Had to do that. It's a very common strategy for a lot of characters in this game that have those types of DPs where they can super cancel them. They can just make it a little bit more ambiguous to punish.
Yeah, on show, you unfortunately can't get that, but no, it's not true. Occasionally, if it like lands beforehand, you can frame perfect the barrage, which I catch people with sometimes. It's pretty cool. So like characters like Mitsuru, you can land and then get a super off pretty easy. Minazuki, you can get D-wings. It's very cool to catch people with.
Yeah, there we go. The instant overhead JB. Not as relevant in this version of the game. Back in vanilla, her ice mirror used to work differently, where she could do like Oki setups into it. While she still has that in this game, it's just not as common. But still, when you're on 1 health, definitely something to be aware of, because that instant overhead can take your life, just as Generic name brand did there. Ooh, what a cross under! Taking advantage of recognizing how Deig0z likes to tech in the air with the down tech. What an air throw here.
That throw hurts.
Just Generic commandeering the corner here, just commandeering the pace of the match. But what a roll from Deig0z here. Gonna be able to get the damage here, just gets the knockdown. What a
Went for the crossbow.
We're not taking the cross, we're not blocking nothing, but we are going to mix you up with the instant overhead. Had to burst that. Nice rolls again. We've been seeing Deig0z utilize those rolls a lot. A universal mechanic in this game and very important on defense. Oh my god. That was a really unfortunate clash for Generic. Yeah, I would have bursted that too. Alright, one touch here. Has to be careful of DP. And I think that Sway was to try and bait that reaction. There we go. Generic name brand taking a game themselves here. We're seeing another 1-to-1. Very close matches we are seeing on stream.
Very strong players we're watching here. That's what I'll put at.
Absolutely, you know, PFC Monthly, we see a lot of players, you know, again, showcasing their skills, their commitment to the game, and, you know, it pays off here, seeing the way that Deig0z is just, you know, able to force their way in and just get in a lot of damage, whereas Generic name brand is very good at controlling the pace of the match. Very strong play we're seeing from both players here. And already, you know, we're seeing Generic name brand just using those stop gaps, you know, that 5A, those 2As, they're like stop signs, you know. Gotta follow the rules of the road with Generic here.
Good roll.
Yeah, we got Deig0z here just jaywalking, you know. We don't care about the law, you know. That 5C, breaking the law here. Nice throw here. Put you back in your place, put you back in the corner where Generic name brand wants you, where they operate best with the pressure here. But we're just going back and forth, you know. We're just playing ring around Rosie with this corner here.
I think they need to go visit the East Coast.
It looks like we're making our trip there, you know. Like a 10-hour drive, but already here, Deig0z just speeding here on their motorcycle. We are breaking the speed limit here.
Awakening.
Taking them out.
Oh.
No time to relax. Come at me.
Yeah, we got Deig0z just hitting 120 on a 55. Like, we gotta slow down. And hopefully, Generic name brand again, putting them in the corner here. Where are you going? Get that 2-way check.
Good back match.
great backdash. Yes, I'm glad you noticed the crazy defense options here from Tubzy. We're gonna just end the combo here in a very nice, clean knockdown here. And just keep that pressure going, but roll here! Taste of your own medicine, generic name brand is using here. And again, the 2 A's here, checking the rolls. Very strong stop sign here, but Tubzy taking the corner back for themselves. We have been playing a lot here on the West Coast. We love it here in Cali.
I think I need to take it over to me in New Jersey. I think we need to go back. I want to watch this. Come on.
See, but now, generic name brand just fighting their way out of here. We're returning to neutral here now. Tubzy just giving them space, recognizing that they have the life lead. They don't have to take a major risk here, but already getting further pushed into the corner.
Tubzy flashing yellow for negative. It's gone now.
Yeah, we gotta stop trolling with the air dash backs here. Great throw here, already in the corner, playing the West Coast again where we love to be. Both players using their burst here. Oh, there you go. Great IDJA. The super's not gonna kill. But oh, we're gonna spend more cash. We're not done yet. One more super.
That was cool.
Is Aki 5A an anti-air? Situationally. It can like check like air dash height jump-ins, but that's not really what you're using that button for. If it happens, it happens.
It's a fast button, it'll catch things, but traditionally I think you gotta use 2B there.
Yeah. Nice throw, reset here again, just Tubzy Magoo with the crazy high octane pressure here.
Yellow beat.
Oh, nice delay tech there, not taking the unblockable. Great awareness from generic name Brandon. Great spacing there. Being in a position to check that roll, something we've been seeing a lot from Tubzy there. I'm really liking how generic name Brandon is just adapting here and just keeping Tubzy in the corner here. But now Tubzy out here needs to keep that pressure ongoing. Risky Tentarafu, nice OMB. But generic name Brandon's gonna get burst soon. Oh yeah, unblockable. Oh, but great guard cancel there. The awareness from both of these players, immaculate. Nice DP.
Is that kill? No.
No.
Frozen.
But we are one touch away now. Tubzy needs to be careful.
Both players.
Now, generic name brand can land a hit, but there you go. That Tentarafu going to be taking there, and that's going to be 2-1 for generic name brand. But
I really feel like it's on either way.
What a very close set from both players.
One more hit for either player would have done it.
Absolutely.
Nightwolf very happy in the chat right now, supporting their Mitsuru. Fellow Mitsuru.
Oh, you gotta support the folks that play your character. Y'all gotta be like family in a way, you know?
Yep, that's how you get. Everyone gets better.
For sure. Speaking of getting better, you know, if you're interested in grinding out this game, if you're not in Persona 5 Club for some reason, please type in ! Discord in the chat. Yes, that's what I'm saying, yeah. We better see you there. If you're not in the server already, please join !Discord. Or please enter !Discord, excuse me, to join the Persona Fight Club Discord.
Better see someone join.
We're gonna see many people join for sure. You know, again, a lot of people that come in regularly. We've been seeing a lot of new faces. We got Luda Drift here, who's been here for quite a while with the Elizabeth, playing a very strong Elizabeth at that. And then we got K-Mare on the Marie. So we don't really see a lot of Marie players because the only ones that are really there are like NBM and Kid. Those are really the only two I actively see play. And Kid I know very well because Kid is from my locals here in New York City, so I can say a lot about that character. And just this matchup in particular, very interesting because, you know, Marie thrives when she's able to set up her set play and get it going from across the screen. But Liz does have ways to check that with, like, using Z0s to, like, keep them honest. And another thing that's really strong for Elizabeth is that having that 2-4A and 2-4B, you cannot really jump on this character very safely, so K-Mare are going to have to play a rather grounded game if you don't want to get caught by those moves. But great roll here from Luda Drift. I'm going to get the confirm here.
K-Mare's coming off top 2 in TMN, so I wonder if they can capitalize off the momentum.
For sure. You know, again, very great to see very strong beginners coming into this tournament here. Like, you know, admittedly, I understand it can be a little bit intimidating fighting against, you know, in a bracket where you could find some like very strong players. But I'm glad that these players are, you know, opening their horizons, trying tournament environments, even despite that. And again, they're just doing well here. Seeing K-Mare get this far into winners so far, it's like, it's still a really, really amazing thing to see. But 5D going to catch you here. Very hard to react to, and it's going to apply the fear here. Fear forcing fatal counters here on the next hit. Great 2B here from K-Mare. Going to get the back combo, get this confirmed going. Going to set up the set play here. Great 5C, great confirm here. I assume Lunar Drift is looking to kill here. Yep. Do not let them get Awakening. Great job from Lunar Drift there.
Liz does a lot of damage. They will kill you.
Absolutely. Here we go again. We're going to get the damage here. You know, the main thing with Liz is that while her pressure initially is not that great, the great thing is that she has really good neutral, and a lot of her confirms can apply fear on you. And when you're dealing with fear, it just makes it a lot scarier to deal with offense, because normal throws you can't tech while you have fear applied on you, and then it makes your next hit fatal. So it's like very scary strike throw in that situation. What a block from Lunar Drift. Now, we were just talking about how AOA is hard to block online, but Lunar Drift, immaculate defense here, and is going to punish K-Mare here, put the poison on them, catches the sweep. That sweep from Marie, very good, but Lunar Drift just one step ahead and is going to be taking a game here.
Yeah, very good at keeping that last combo burst safe, securing the kill, and taking the game.
Absolutely. Very clean play from both players, although I do want to say that, you know, I feel like K-Mare was having a bit of trouble getting their game going. They weren't able to get a lot of presence or cloud set up to control neutral, and rather it was just mainly Lunar Drift dictating the pace of the match there for the most part. And with that, you know, just being able to run their offense, get those 5D grabs in, and just deal a lot of damage. One of Liz's big strengths is her very high damage.
Yeah, Marie, she can get her set play going. Not as high as Reset, but they're not the same character. Marie, they're trying to get their set play, and the way they do it is they get the set and they run up on you, and they kill you for it with a high damaging combos. If they added meter, it can do upwards of 7 to 8k, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but things like those chocolates, they force you to block, and you're good to set up.
Yep. Oh, nice 5D, JD there, excuse me, from there. He's going to get that offense going. One of the things with Marie offense to take note of is that her 5A is a standing low, which, admittedly, it does catch me a lot of the times. Like, sometimes I'll be just, like, trying to IB, and that 5A being a low will catch me. It's very annoying at times.
Is just Marie and Yukari?
Off the top of my head, I believe so. I don't recall any other character with a low 5A. Maybe there might be more. Chat can correct us, but that's what chat's for, because they are the all-knowing. We don't know nothing.
Yeah, they have the resource known as Google at their disposal.
They have dustloop.com. We got burstbait.com here taking K-Mare's life, but nope, we're going to catch the roll here. Gets one more chance to get the punish here. Lunar Drift has to get around up here just to not make it so K-Mare's up 1-1 very fast. But there you go. It's going to be Lunar Drift taking this round very cleanly, barely even touched at all. They're going to have to work really hard to make sure that they can secure this set here.
Yeah, Liz gaining meter at all times. She's got the sword buff already. That's something you gotta look out for.
Yep, absolutely gonna make the combos here a lot more threatening. Try to go for a 5D reset, but not having it here.
There's poison.
Keeping them in the corner here.
Try to get a hit off you out of that tick.
5D here, very hard to deal with.
You got fear. That's fatal.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Lunar Drift not ready to confirm here, but K-Mare ready to do the same here to them instead. Get the present going, get the offense going, get the whip overhead into low. We got crazy mix-ups here. Nagatama just keeps them honest here, but again, Lunar Drift having their own zoning tools to just, you know, play from a distance. They're very comfortable here with this life lead, using those Zeos to keep them out, almost snipe them with the 2 and 4B there. Oh, bad 5B there. Has to burst out here. Back to the zoning again. Again, Lunar has the life lead here, but just lost it now. As K-Mare just able to approach, but whiffs the 5B! Oh, dead. Yep. Oh, that has got to sting for K-Mirror because they almost had that match. They put up a really, really amazing fight. But Lunar Drift going to be taking that match 2-0 here.
Yeah, I mean, going that far against players like Lunar Drift, it's always something to be happy about in the end, especially when you're still in the beginners. You're making your way up. Good to know that you're definitely getting better.
Absolutely, absolutely. And with that, we are moving on to the winners quarterfinal matches. So I believe up next, we're going to be having Caster going up against that Raccoon.
So, Labras Minazuki? Yeah.
Yep, Labras Minazuki. So, Minazuki, character I'm much more familiar with, but it's also a character you play. So it's like, could you tell us a little bit about this matchup?
So, Labras, you can't let her get going, obviously, at the red axe. So you just gotta keep her out, control space at the big persona normals. You can do things like air turn, JC, and that will obviously control a big amount of space. You can do 2D at some times, that will catch her. And if that's fatal counter, Minazuki loves counter hits. It'll kill you. 5C, this lot range. A lot of these things control range. You got Kunai, which I learned from Chris recently that you can do after B Rekka, you can cancel it into SB Kunai, and you can do that into burst, and that does a lot of damage. A lot of things that can catch Labras, but Labras, Red Axe, JB is a big button. Some of these persona moves can keep you standing still, and then she gets her axe going.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got the match starting here soon. We just need that scene change.
Yeah, no, they went back to room.
I don't know if they were button checking, but I almost had me scared there for a bit.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they just didn't get the cue to play, but while we wait for that cue, ! Discord in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
Join Persona Fight Club.
Please join Persona 5 Club if you're not a member of the server already. A lot of resources on the game, a really, really strong community. This game has rollback netcode on both PSN and PC, so there's no excuse to not be playing this game right now. This game is amazing. The community been very strong. We've been seeing players both old and new coming back to the game with the revival of the port a couple of years ago, and it's been a great times.
This is some of the strongest times the game's been at, so no point in not joining now.
Absolutely. So now, with the actual match happening, we're not lying to y'all this time. This is the real match. This is the real Caster versus that Raccoon. We're gonna want to see Caster here, just trying to build up Red Axe, and to do that, they need to get as many hits as possible, get that snowball going. But that Raccoon already making it very difficult for it here, keeping the plus frames, utilizing that command grab liberally here.
Yeah, Miyazuki, if they condition you to not know either to punish the grab or keep blocking, that's when you're in trouble.
Absolutely, just Minazuki having those really strong persona normals, just making it really, really hard for Caster to do much, just dictating the pace of the match here. But Caster still finding a way through despite all of that, building it up to Yellow Axe here, catching the roll here, definitely going to hurt here, getting a lot of damage here, spike him down, hit the bull, and murder.
This guy.
Murder on Caster's mind.
The Red Axe. You can't let it kind of hit fatal.
Alright, we're just going back to controlling the pace of the neutral very slowly, but that Raccoon getting their way in, tries to get another grab there.
The thing about the gold burst there is, Labras get, oh, good GP clash.
Yeah, that is a common counterplay to that GP.
Labras gets another hit there with that. Oh, the Red Axe is gone. But if the Red Axe was still there, if you gold burst even at round start, you can die in one combo. That's how strong the Red Axe is.
Yeah, Red Axe, very, very crazy. I believe it does force counter hits on any axe hits from that point, or was it fatal? I don't remember. But here we go, back to Yellow Axe after losing that momentum. So now, Caster, yeah, definitely needs to find a way to get that steam. Back to Yellow Axe.
Good burst.
Yeah, Canadian burst, but that actually helped him there. I don't agree with caster bursting, but you know that was a really, really big hero burst, especially with the blue axe down. It was initially gray axe, but does not matter. Guess what an air throw from Raccoon.
You're doomed.
Yeah.
Alright, so already starting off the round with blue axe, not a great position for them to be in. We're gonna get the DP here, gets the momentum here ongoing, and just gradually building up the axe. So for those who are unaware, with the colors, the hotter the color gets, the more damage that Lapras does. So like we see yellow. Next color here, the highest color is red, and that's where we're going to see a lot of damage. But already here off of a yellow axe confirm, already a great position here. What a bait on the guard cancel with the backdash cancel. And just, we are looking at a perfect here. Alright, gets opened up overhead, but gets tagged low by the 2A on defense. And Caster gonna be up the first game here.
Yeah, Caster's very good at snowballing. Whenever I fight against him, I can't let him get anything going, because then I know if he does, I will lose.
Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely something that Raccoon has to be careful of, is just not letting Caster snowball that hard. They were doing a really great job initially of just controlling the pace of the match at the start, but there were times where just Caster would get in and then just blow up for it.
Yeah, if anyone can adapt, though, I believe Raccoon can. They're one of the people teaching me Minazuki, and they've got about 10,000 games on the character, so they definitely know what to do here.
Oh, no, that changes the dynamics now, because now you're biased, because this is your Master Shifu here.
This is not... No, Caster's one of my very good friends. I will not let that sway my opinion, but that's something you gotta know.
You know, we're all friends here at the end of the day, just like in Persona, right?
Yeah, we love Persona
And
Fight
we block
Club.
A-boys here in this game, because we are friends. But we do not
Persona
block!
Fight Club.
Fake overhead into OMC low. Dirty mix-up there.
Mark in chat really loves Caster.
There you go. OMB already at the start. Caster just wants Raccoon dead here. But you know, again, it's all friendship. It's all friendship here, right?
Yeah, this is friendly sparring.
Yeah. You know, I imagine Care Bears and, you know, My Little Pony, they do the same thing to each other, too. It's just competition at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's all for fun.
It's just a counter hit, J2B at the end of the day. Oh my god, where did your health bar go?
Cool.
There you go, burst out.
Good in the corner.
Nice block on the DP here. Has to get a really nice big punish here. Try to even out the health here. But, you know, again, with Awakening here, that Raccoon has a lot of opportunities to make this really big here, but we don't want to put them in Awakening!
You gotta get out of there.
Okay, you better kill him. Raccoon gonna do as much damage as possible. Get that 2A confirmed.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
And just gets as much damage as possible there. Good stuff, good stuff. Raccoon is a striver. You know, I don't like using the word like that. Guilty Gear Strive is a very nice game. We can't be disrespecting the game like that.
What does that even mean? What does that mean?
It means that they play Guilty Gear Strive, but, you know, Guilty Gear Strive is a nice game. But Persona is the game of the day today.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to see tonight here. Caster's putting them in the corner. We're not blocking that AOA. We're going to get a fatal counter on it too. Get some really nice big damage. Cash out with the OMB. We're not done yet, but we're going to get this bull. You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Oh, red axe. There it is.
And there you go. That's going to be Caster. Yep. Taking it 2-0 with the Persona Perfect.
Yep. It's red axe. Scary. That's what you need to know.
Oh, it is scary.
Yep, Deig0z knows. Red axe.
And up next, we're gonna be seeing Toxic Orange again, but this time they're gonna be going up against Deig0z. Deig0z being a Yukiko player, a character that is quite honestly very rare. I don't really see a lot of them. I remember we would have some. I don't remember if they play Shadow Yukiko or normal Yukiko.
It's Shadow Yukiko.
Even better. Shadow Yukiko, I think, is such a cool character because she has a lot of really messed up unblockable setups that can just put you in really bad positions and then just blow you up. It's always a character I've wanted to try learning, but never really got the chance to.
Yeah, Deig0z is one of the best around. He's in the ping list for Yukiko and the PFC, but you better get in here. I'm not going to stop. You better join Persona Fight Club. But
Again, exclamation mark Discord in the chat.
yeah, Deig0z is one of the best Yukikos around. He knows what he's doing, especially in these matchups. When I tried to play Ken for a little bit, I actually went to Deig0z to know what to do against Yukiko on this character, on Ken. So he definitely knows how to pilot this matchup.
Absolutely, absolutely great. I believe they know in one of your tournaments. How far did they get in actually? Because I recall they got pretty far there.
Last one they placed top 3, I believe it was, and top 2 was Ryuzuzu X and Killer Kitty.
Ah, I see.
So,
yeah, I remember seeing their match against Killer Kitty, and they were doing really, really good there, despite the matchup disadvantage. So it's like Deig0z just, regardless of the matchup you put them in, they are very, very confident in their character, and I'm sure that they're going to get very far here.
yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's very good at the game. One of my very good friends, and we're all very good friends in Persona Flight Club. Exclamation point Discord right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we're gonna let this intro rock. Oh no, never mind. We are skippers. This is a shadow matchup here, so both these players actually, excuse me, not gonna have Awakening here, but instead they get access to Shadow Frenzy, which basically lets them get custom combos almost and just cash out with a lot of damage that is unburstable. Using those fans to lock down here, gets his pressure going, but Toxic Orange not having any of that, being very, very liberal with the DP there. I really like how Deig0z utilizes those fans and just cuts off specific angles of movement from Toxic Orange. Like, it's not always about just throwing the fans with the intent to hit, but also throwing the fans with the intent to cover where Toxic Orange wants to go. But oh, that is the second time we saw Toxic Orange drop that DP.
I like to call it the Yukiko obstacle course, so you gotta pile your way around the fans, and then if you do, you gotta get into Yukiko and not let her send you back out, because the DP will send you back out full screen.
Yep. I believe that was Deig0z doing the fire break setup there, that Toxic Orange tried to super there. But unfortunately, even trying to do the super there just didn't save them because Deig0z was just in a position where they were perfectly safe to not take that unblockable there. Alright, again, just throwing out those fans, just limiting the movement on both the dog and Ken themselves, just showcasing their expertise with this character. Like, a lot of finesse, I want to say. And already we are at level 3 here with the flames here, which, if I recall, they make her fire move stronger, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not entirely sure on it, but it's one of the big things you can go for in Yukiko, and if you get it up, you will hit harder. That's what I know about it. Not all knowing about Yukiko, I just know what Deig0z told me.
Again, nobody plays this character, that's the problem. We need more Yukiko players. Exclamation mark Discord, you could be the next Yukiko player that changes the world. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, we definitely need more of them, because it's bad when the commentators don't know what the character does, but yeah, I'm learning it right now with seeing Deig0z play, just doing a very great job of just locking down Toxic Orange here, keeping this pressure ongoing. We're going to put them in the corner. We got the negative edge fire on deck. We're going to open you up low. You're going to let them stuff the J's, and you're out of here.
Zoner, by the way, he's getting in your face.
I feel like the thing with modern zoners, they're not just about zoning you from full screen all day. They kind of have more lockdown elements in a lot of modern fighting games, including this game like Persona, like just finding ways to get them blocking, get them afraid to move, and then just approach on your own terms. And we're seeing that Deig0z is employing that perfectly here.
Better Call Scion in chat asked if Ken is a popular character. I would like to say yes. There's a very good amount of Ken players.
I'd say sort of. I definitely do see quite a couple of them. And is a very strong character to get into the game with. Like, even though it can seem a little intimidating controlling both Ken and Dog at the same time,
it's very
if you
rewarding.
play puppet characters in other games, way easier. Like, I kind of would compare them more to like a JoJo Heritage to the Future character, almost. Oh, yeah, fire break setup. So when they do that fire break setup there, you see the shield there with the fire that's on the gray there. That's the cooldown for fire break. So she gets to do that and it makes her next fire move unblockable. And that's how Toxic Orange just got caught there. They lost their life.
Yep, 6k off the Shadow Frenzy.
You're new to the game and you decided to play Ken. Well, first off, welcome to the game. Very great to have you. you are playing a character with very, very strong offense. Like, whether you enjoy the character purely from, like, you know, Persona 3, or you just felt like their playstyle appealed to you, I definitely feel like you'll have a lot of fun playing Ken.
Very high skill ceiling.
Absolutely, yeah. Low skill floor, high skill ceiling. That is a very common theme with a lot of characters in this game. A lot to explore with them.
I love this game.
This game loves you too. So both players just taking a quick breather here, just trying to get their thoughts together for how they'll approach the next round.
Boobus, why are we dissing on Edward? What did Edward do?
Boobus hating for no reason.
Yeah, we hate on Edward. Never catches a break. See how Toxic Orange adapts in this next game. Like I say, he's gotta make sure to get the dog behind. I don't. Did I say it? But you gotta make sure to get the dog behind Yukiko, and if you do, you can just make sure she can't get anything going with 2C and 5C from behind, because 2C will catch her when she goes into the air, and that's when you get your chance to run in.
Speaking of using dog like that, I don't think I've seen Toxic Orange use 5D too much against Deig0z here. A lot of the times they've been able to just, like, you know, successfully snipe the dog with fans. And now they're just building up those levels, those fan levels there. Yep. I'm impressed they're finding the space to do that, because I feel like, I would imagine it's very hard to do that when you got Koromaru just running at you, trying to tackle you and lock you down. Just like that there, but again, Toxic Orange having a bit of a hard time getting in, and what a snipe there from Deig0z, just barely missing the spacing, and now we're just gonna get those loops there. Throw more fans, just getting back to super jump height. Nice JA here.
Wait, using the burst instead of using it as a Shadow Frenzy, that's something. You always gotta make a big decision with the Shadow characters. You gotta think, am I using this defensively, or am I using it to kill my opponent, not giving them a chance to play the game? Because that's how you gotta go about it on Shadow characters. You gotta think a little bit harder, but depending on who you're playing, you get a pretty good big reward.
Yeah, the only thing though is that I feel like Toxic Orange maybe not be too confident in their Shadow Frenzy confirms, because we saw twice, you know, in the previous match on stream where they also dropped the DP and it kind of cost them immensely. So maybe they just want to use it more defensively in their approach against Deig0z. But if that's their thought process, I would think that, you know, going normal Ken would probably be better for them. But look, they're already halfway on burst, so, you know, the chance for them to take a round with the Shadow Frenzy is still on the table, either this round or the next round, depending on how long it takes. But I definitely feel like they need to at least take one round clean, and they need a Shadow Frenzy before Deig0z gets a chance to get a really, really big lead here. But, like, getting the Fire Break set up, yeah, not going to be able to block there. Burst there, but is still able to get out and continue here. But, again, they use their burst defensively, and that's probably the last burst they're going to get here. So this is now going to be a very uphill battle here for Toxic Orange.
I mean, the way Yukiko's not going to be able to get unblockable for doesn't matter. But
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
All you need the unblockable for there is just cash out with the Shadow Frenzy confirms there and just pretty much make them guaranteed and just make it messed up Oki. But that is going to be Deig0z there taking it 2-0, just controlling the pace of the match, making it very difficult for Toxic Orange to approach, get in, and get a lot done. But I definitely feel like the problem there was really the burst usage from Toxic Orange that second game. Because using that first burst defensively, I would have argued they did not need to, but after that, it definitely just kind of went downhill when they were in positions where they were forced to and just could not really capitalize on the strengths of their character.
I was waiting for that last set to end. Nightgill2 says there's a Persona fighting game. Yes, there is, and if you want to get into it, join Persona Fight Club, Discord. You get in here, play the game. It's very fun. You will enjoy it. If you like XRD and BlazBlue, you will love this game.
Yeah, community is very small. Maximus, you're lying. We got 13k people in the server and growing. We got a ton of people here that come in and play Persona. So, you know, please don't be intimidated by the size of the server. Because, you know, it's not small. But also, you know, again, we have a lot of dedicated people here. A lot of people that love to play the game. A lot of resources to help you get into the game. So please, please come on in. !Discord.
Yep, we're all looking to help. We're looking for new people to play the game. looking to grow as a community even bigger.
Absolutely. And up next, we're going to be having Ryuzuzu going up against Caster. So Caster, we get to saw their play earlier with their Labras, but Ryuzuzu, for those who have watched PFC streams in the past or any other Persona tournaments, that should be a name you are very, very familiar with for sure. Because Ryuzuzu, one of the strongest Yukari players we have around here in North America, and they came here once again to just keep the train going, keep showing their dominance against other players here in Persona. Definitely a more aggressive Yukari, I would say, in terms of how they play. But still, you know, it gets the job done. One of the best for sure.
Yeah, I believe in my past bracket, I believe they won 3-1 in grand finals against Killer Kitty. Killer Kitty is a Shadow Labras, not the same character as this Labras. It's two different personas, you gotta play the game a bit different. Shadow Labras is a puppet character, Labras is not.
Yeah, whereas with normal Labras, you know, she just has the big axe and she just wants to get her way in, monkey her way in. But, you know, the real challenge with that is, like, now she has to do this against a zoner here. And Ryuzuzu here definitely makes great use of, like, you know, the convertibility that Yukari has. It's just like, there can be a lot of straight hits that Yukari just throws out, and then she's just able to convert that into crazy, crazy corner carry. Like this right here, you're going to the corner. And you're taking a 50-50 after this. So yeah, get this here. Get this knockdown. I'll get this orb set up here, but we're going to block those overheads. Keep the pressure going. But we're not going to block that. It's a little scary because, you know, they can't hold it, so maybe Ryu was just not ready to, like, roll it. But, I mean, it is fully charged. It does become unblockable as well.
Yeah, it's not something you're always expecting, but when it does happen, you either gotta get out of the way or just take the hit. The only options.
And there we go. That's going to be the first round going to Ryu there. Great JC again, just stuffing that approach from Caster. Forcing the burst out here, but this is a rather early burst here for a burst you're probably not going to get again in this round. And now you're going to have to deal with the Oki here, losing a ton of health here. 4.3k, oh my god, and we still dropped the combo. But still, it did so much damage and it didn't matter. OMB, we're going to make sure we kill here for sure.
Yeah.
We're done. Yep.
Yukari
and
combos,
DP for the flex.
They're pretty safe and they last pretty long, so you kind of just got to watch yourself die. But if they mess up, that's your chance to go in and take the counter.
Absolutely, absolutely. I definitely do feel like, you know, this is a very uphill matchup for Caster. But we've been seeing that they're very, very impatient with a lot of their approaches. Like, IEDing against Ryuzuzu, not the best idea, especially with the way they like to use that JC and just how many great conversions it gives them. So yeah, we're going to see the counter pick to just Shadow Yosuke here because they realize that, you know, it's going to be very, very difficult to get in with that Labras. But Shadow Yosuke, very, very scary character on their own front with the really, really nasty Shadow Frenzy confirms, so they can just tack on a lot of poison, which does unskilled damage in the middle of it. But again, those air dashes, we have to be really, really careful with that because they ran into the Persona here and now they are stuck in the corner. I want to see more neutral jumps, more dash blocking, or just walk blocking actually, excuse me, to make sure that we can get in much safer. We don't need to get in immediately, we just need to get in safely. And get in is what they're going to do.
Going back to what you said about poison stacks before with Yosuke, some combos might not look like they're doing a lot, and then you look up at your health bar, a lot more than what the combo says it does because of the poison. The way it stacks up on Yosuke is something you always gotta be looking out for. SB Kunai, very scary to go against. The grab applying poison too, that's something you always gotta look out for.
Absolutely here. And just now Caster just keeping his pressure on going, but unfortunately had to use that burst. Blocks the AOA DAC attack here, signature, but alright, but again, using those kunais just to control space, but what an air throw from Ryu here. Ryuzuzu, excuse me. Alright, again, these air dashes, I don't like those from Caster. Those Air dashes kept on getting caught and not working out for them, but what a roll here. That air dash getting caught once again. Caster, we just got a normal jump, please. You might not live for this. You actually might not live for this. There you go, burst, but you are one touch, my friend. Oh, but what an answer with that 5A, but oh, what was that drop? That was jank you got hit with, unfortunately. And yeah, the air dash getting caught once again. You know, I can't even be mad at Caster, because to be fair, it's an air dasher. I'm playing an air dasher to air dash, but a little one too many times, just those air dashes not working out. And it cost Caster the game in both those matches. But still, really, really great play for both. And luckily, this is winners, so Caster is still going to have an opportunity to continue in the bracket and loser side of top 6. So with that, do we have any other matches that are ready? Oh no, we do. We have Deig0z going up against
Boobus.
I'm not sure if we call them Boobus or Azura, and I can't even pronounce that.
I think yeah, they're fine with Boobus. I have to step away for like 10-20 seconds. I'll be right back. I have to go let my dad in the house.
Alrighty, well in that case, you're gonna get solo commentary with me unless Chris decides to show up out of nowhere. Chris will not be showing up out of nowhere. It'll just be me. So we're going to be having Deig0z going up against Boobus here. So Boobus, another very strong Yosuke player that we see a lot. And Deig0z we saw earlier again with the immaculate Yukiko play. A character we don't get to see very often, but, you know, very, very scary and difficult to, like, you know, approach and get around here. So very, very interesting to see here. What is my favorite energy drink? As a kid, probably Gatorade, I would say. But nowadays, I drink the best energy drink ever, water. Drinking water is healthier for you and better. So, you know, this is your obligatory drink water message. And also your obligatory join the Discord on PFC. Type in !Discord in the chat. You get to join the Persona 5 Club, the main hub for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax since the new port has dropped on both PSN, PC, and Nintendo Switch. So please, please get in on the game. You know, we have a lot of resources to help you learn. A lot of events and tournaments for y'all too. Just not just this one. You know, we got so many more coming. You know, we got crew battles. We get other events too that definitely keep it interesting for all of us here. So again, !Discord, please get in. Hey, that's not my name. Yeah, can we correct the name to Boobus McScoobus? I mean, their name? Okay, now why are you being weird? We know who you are. Alright, so we are still waiting for both players to join the room. Should happen momentarily. Now, as we are waiting, you know, just appreciating the Velvet Room music here, the electronica version. It's such a great mix of the song. Like, song is timeless as ever. There's probably a great reason why they never like recomposed it after every other version of Persona past Persona 3. But this rendition still for the lobbies, whoever thought of that, genius idea. So we got both players in the room now. Should be ready to get going soon.
Alright, I'm back.
Alrighty, well, luckily the match hasn't started yet, so we haven't missed you for too much. But we are getting into it now. We're getting Deig0z going up against Boobus.
Going from Shadow Yosuke to normal Yosuke. Pretty different, honestly, because the way you're using the burst, Frenzy, you're trying to get them to the corner and do a lot of poison stack, while with normal burst, some of the times you're going to do a micro dash into 5D, and then you can do that a lot more mid-screen. But the way you use Frenzy, I feel like a lot more time you're trying to get them to the corner.
This joke isn't funny anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wrong. One.
Alrighty, we're getting the start here, and just Deig0z going to be getting the first blood here. Alrighty, keeping the pressure ongoing here.
Down here.
Sorry, 1 second.
Yeah, the Taro too.
Alrighty, so sorry, I had to deal with something real quick, so I'm back now to commentate. But seeing the life lead here, so yeah, Boobus having a very strong life lead here.
Yeah, especially against Yosuke. Funny enough that Yukiko is the zoner here. When you're playing against Yosuke, he can get in and then pressure you hard on offense, and then he can also zone you out. He's a very good all-around character.
Alrighty, the Persona break here, not good for Boobus here, but you keep this pressure ongoing. Gets the cross-up JA here. Getting the fire here, just keeping the combo ongoing here, but trying to minimize how much of an advantage they have here with Awakening here. I don't think it's going to completely... Oh, it'll kill.
That kills.
Yeah.
5k. Yeah, that's Yukiko's little average, I think. 5 to 6k damage is what you see from her a lot.
Yeah, especially with the high cash outs. That's really, really good to have.
Yeah, especially when you can hit it from full screen. Just getting 5k like that. It's pretty nice to have.
Alrighty, nice blocks here from the flips here, but it's still going to get Persona broken, and Deig0z going to be able to get the confirm here. Alright, yep, we're going to get those 2 and 4A loops, build the fire up, and again, just going to deny them the advantages of Awakening here. Both times, Deig0z's been doing that masterfully here without even using Shadow Burst there.
Yeah, something something I've learned from fighting Yukiko a decent amount is you gotta learn to understand that some of the things that she's gonna pressure you with, you have an out too. But if you take that out, often she can just punish you for trying to take that out. So you gotta decide what things you're going to allow them to do and what things you're not going to allow that are fake. Obviously, you can't allow them to do fake stuff all the time. But sometimes you gotta decide, hey, if I allow this, it's sometimes maybe I can block out, but if you decide to go out, she can punish you and you will take a lot of damage. So it's 50-50 kinda, if you want to explain it that way.
Yeah,
but,
no, it definitely is.
Yeah, it's something you gotta understand when you're going against this character.
Gotcha. So already here, Boobus off to a great start.
USK 5A is the fastest building in the game. You gotta be ready for it.
Yeah, yep.
Along with Suku 2A being slightly faster, but you gotta get the install.
And the DP. Also, the nice thing about that DP is that it does heal Yukiko for as long as she holds it. So it actually is nice. So you have a way to like get some health back while also just taking a defensive action to just get them off of you. But when you get the super cancel here, just get the fire here, get the fire break setup ready, but we roll through the fire break setup. Really great awareness for Boobus there. Alright, and again, we're just going back to neutral here. Both of these characters have a very good, like, full screen presence. Obviously better for Yukiko with her being a zoner primarily, but
yeah,
Yosuke having those kunais that they're able to throw at different angles definitely does help them with, like, covering a lot of the space that Deig0z likes to be in. Because, like, we see that Deig0z likes to be at super jump height a lot, but we're also seeing that from Boobus as well, just making sure that they make it really, really difficult for Deig0z to throw out those fans for free.
Yeah, the thing with Yosuke being able to throw the kunai at different angles, if they try to approach you, you can catch them with a different angle of kunai that they're not going to be expecting. So when you're approaching Yosuke, you always have to keep that in mind, that he can do that. And when you get into DP, it lasts like a surprisingly long time. The trip will get you too. So approaching Yosuke, it's a little bit harder than you think it would be.
Absolutely. Alright, there we go. There's going to be the flames coming out once again here. And we're going to get the fire break set up, but we get to roll it once again, but you can't do that against Deig0z, forcing Boobus to burst here, but honestly, quite the hero burst here, because now you're not going to have burst for next round when all Deig0z has to do is touch you once, but it seems like Boobus is not going to let Deig0z get that chance. It's the confusion. Base the DP, base the burst! Oh, okay, we can't drop that, we can't drop that. We could have hit the super after Super Kaja and got the kill, but now it has to be careful, but yep, there we go. Just slides right down and keeps it nice and clean.
Yeah, it's a very good move to catch people with, and not always expecting it. And if it lands fatal counter, does a lot of damage. So it's a very good move for Yosuke to have in his arsenal.
What is the input of that move again? I'll be blunt because I played. Okay, 2-2-C, because I played Yosuke in BB Tag, or best around with him in BB Tag back when that game was new, and I remember that being his JC, but I was like, I'm pretty confident it's a special move in this game, but I forget what it is.
Yeah, it's J2C, and then if you do J2D, it's a little bit of a fake out version, but that move's a little bit more punishable than, well, it's obviously a little bit more punishable because you have a little bit of the landing time after, but J2C, it will go and into low, which is a little bit surprising that catches people with, because if they're in the air, you're not expecting the low to come out. You can also cancel it into moves like Flip and Kunai. It's a very good move, I'll put it that.
Alright.
One thing that Boobus does a lot is they do 5D into roll, which does a pretty good cross-up because Jiraiya will stay behind them. And then as they do the roll, like if they're not blocking the other side, Jiraiya will hit from behind, and then you can super jump into a, I think it might be JD. You can get a good combo off that. So I haven't seen it a lot yet, obviously because Yukiko, but I wouldn't be surprised if I see it.
Well, we couldn't get the chance to see it here, but again, just Deig0z doing a really, really great job of just dictating the pace of the match. And, you know, when they get those confirms into the flame and the fire break setups, they just do a ton of damage. Like, even when they have their, like, the life deficit a lot of the times, we've just been seeing Deig0z just make really, really strong comebacks.
Yeah, it's very good for Deig0z. You don't always need Deig0z and Yukiko. Deig0z is a very good player, so
they are Yukiko. See, when you're so good that you get confused with the character, it's like Daigo with Ryu back in the like Ultra Street Fighter 4 days. I don't know if you are old enough to remember, but those are very interesting days. Like, you know, everyone would just call, like, you know, Daigo Ryu at the time because he was him.
Being known as your character it's something to be. Oh, there's
That's something to be proud of. Yeah.
J2C, my bad. But they're the 2A link. Yep.
Very, very clean link here. We're gonna get the tornado here. Just gets even more damage. And now next touch here, definitely going to be death here. And that roll going to seal the deal if they do that first. Oh, we've been seeing a lot of these hero bursts, but
good overhead.
Mix-up. Yeah. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it away this time, but does not matter because Boobus is just gonna throw the kunais there to stay up as long as possible. Very, very smart game sense.
This is a very close set. Whoever wins this round just takes the game. Well, this side obviously, but it'll also take the game. So it's very fun to watch these types of games.
Well, also more importantly, they would also be moving on to the top 6 side of the tournament. So this is still winner side. They get to top 6 winners depending on who takes this. So both very, very strong players to be seeing here for sure.
There's the unblockable. Good Guardian. There's the cross up.
Alright, comes down with the JC there. I'm gonna OMB, just cash out as much damage as possible here. Very, very smart move from Boobus. Do not drop this, and you will be in top 6 winners. There you go.
I think Boobus is extremely underrated as a player.
I don't think so, because I think a lot of us know how strong Boobus is.
There's some people that don't, and I think they gotta understand. Boobus is very good at the game.
And they are fools. They forever will be, but that is going to be Boobus taking it very closely, moving on to winner side. So with that, I believe we will be taking a short break before we move on to the top 6 portion of the tournament. So Once again, before we go, you know, we do have the Discord. Please join with !Discord. Luigi God. That is
he
quite an
next up?
intimidating name.
Yeah, I don't want to see that name join my lobby. I will.
I think it's just a person who just joined the lobby, thought it was just, you know, a normal lobby, but it happens. You know, we got people that like join lobbies, try to get some games, but that just shows you how active the game is. And, you know, we got even more activity again in the Discord. !Discord in the chat. Join Persona 5 Club. You know, we got a lot of resources to help you learn the game, matchmaking channels to help you get into the game.
Luigi
God
really
intimidating us once again. You know, he's just letting us know that he's there. But, you know, again, please join the Discord. You know, very, very great community we have here. A lot of events we run here too, not just the regular monthlies too. So, you know, if you're interested in these types of things, please come check them out.
Yes, Boobus, you are sick as fuck. I see you in chat.
Alrighty, Deig0z. Anyways, with that, we will be taking a short break, so we will see you shortly.
Oh, Boobus is suffering from a viral infection. Alright.
Is the mic still hot, Chris? Hello everybody, welcome back to the Persona Monthly 25 on PC. We are back for top 8. I'm joined again with Gav, my co-commentator. How are you doing tonight so far?
I love Persona.
I love Persona 2, and we have gotten a lot of crazy action earlier in pools, but now we got top 6 here. So to start off top 6, in our winner's final, we have Ryuzuzu going up against Boobus, a classic matchup. Tale as old as time here for like the past year or so since both of these players.
This is Toxic
Oh,
Orange.
I think we got a different match. Okay, I'm so sorry. We got Caster going up against Toxic Orange. So we're going up with our losers match first. So sorry to hype you up. We're gonna get that other match I was talking about later. But you know, still, Caster Toxic Orange going to be a very, very interesting match here to see. We're gonna be seeing Shadow Ken going up against Labris. But we also saw the Yosuke as well from Caster, so they're not afraid to counterpick should they feel the need to.
Yeah, Caster's Teddy. Alright, there's Labris. Yeah, I was not expecting Teddy there off the select screen.
The character select, yeah, no, we sometimes do be trolling with that, but no, we are locked in with the characters we talked about earlier. So this character, Labris, admittedly definitely going to have a bit of hard time with a lockdown from Toxic Orange, but hopefully, I really do want to see Toxic Orange land a Shadow Frenzy confirmed, because the times they dropped it in the prior matches we saw them on stream was very unfortunate, to say the least. You know, but you know, it happens. Sometimes we drop combos, but we just got to move on, and the execution will get better tomorrow.
It's definitely something he can do. He's done it against me before. He can do it. Like, I know he's got it in his bag.
Alright, there we go. We're going to get the spinning disc, but the spinning disc is missing there slightly, but still keeping the pressure ongoing here. Knocking him down, get this disc here, but great blocks on the overheads here from Caster, just very familiar with it. Burst that DP, that was just... Toxic Orange said, it's my turn to press buttons. I'm not stopping anytime soon, and baits that DP with just jumping over it.
He does not want to give up the pressure.
I wouldn't want to either. I believe they double jump there to bait a response there, but...
This is going to kill, yeah.
Yeah, that DP not doing Caster many favors there. Admittedly, it is a really hard DP to use on defense because you can react DP to it on response to just hitting it with the guard points. So against a player who is not sleeping, it's definitely difficult to use there. But still interesting that Caster has the confidence to still try their best to utilize it to get them off of them. But here we go, we're gonna see the OMB, but unfortunately we're not able to capitalize because we dropped that 5B there. Alright, gets this pressure ongoing here, gonna knock them straight down.
In the red axe. Oh, there's the cross. That's a very good reversal super.
Alright, we are... Yep, back to full screen. Gets opened up low here. This is going to be quite a bit of damage and just not going to kill yet anytime soon, but we're going to get this overhead into the low mix. We're going to roll here. We're not dealing with any of that here at all. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Dog being dead, definitely a bad position to be, but we're going to burst. We're going to Shadow Frenzy and super great use of resources here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but you get time to get, you get Dog. That's all you need. You just need one more mix-up. Oh, my God.
Cross without...
That was crazy.
Koromaru. It's risky to use because it's not going to do as much damage as you need it to sometimes.
And off to round 2 here, we're just keeping the pressure ongoing here. Nice cross up here with the counter hit, forcing the burst. But we don't block that 214A, the overhead of Doom. The second overhead of Doom, but this time SB getting the conversion here. And just Caster building up those axe levels. Now we are back to red. We're going to be doing even more damage, forcing Toxic Orange to use that guard cancel out of there. Throw them back into the corner while Dog is still trying to recover their health. Yeah. It's really important that you kill Koromaru in this matchup for sure, because it definitely does severely limit what Ken can do to you.
The Dog TOD resource, it's in the PFC. Join up. Yeah, that's the red axe.
There you go. Yep, red axe sealing the deal there.
Yeah, Ken being one of the lower HP characters in the game, the red X is gonna hurt you even more.
I feel like it hurts everybody. It doesn't matter how much health you have.
Yeah, it hurts.
And there we go. That's gonna be the first game going to Caster there. You know, despite again the matchup difference here, Caster just very confident in finding their ways in, locking down Toxic Orange, and just keeping the pressure ongoing. But also, we did see them, you know, kill Dog consistently there multiple times, making sure to take away a very vital tool from Toxic Orange there.
Yeah, Caster is very good at adapting these matchups. He can get it done.
Yeah, it's really just a matter of how can Toxic Orange lock down Caster and just make it really, really difficult and punish those defensive options more importantly, like they did the first round with just mitigating how useful the DP was. Oh my god, we got Deig0z auto combos there, the way that turned around. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna knock them straight down, we're gonna give them the horns. But, you know, I don't agree with that per se, because I feel like taking Oki there would have been better.
Yeah, especially when they're in the corner. It's not gonna put him in a situation where the next hit will kill, but they still got
more
that
importantly,
thing.
the thing is that, you know, they're playing Shadow, so it's like, you don't have to worry about Awakening, you have to worry about this, Shadow Frenzy. And here we go, we don't drop it here, and now we're gonna cash out. Yep.
Yeah. There's the Shadow Frenzy combo that hurts. It's not as high damaging as Ken's one more burst, but the fact that you can't do anything out of it, that's what makes it strong.
Absolutely, yeah. And there we go, just the DP there working out, just Caster maintaining their turn here, but has to burst out of this to keep the pressure ongoing, making use of that amazingly huge JB there. Oh, but misses the JTB. That's the DP here again, just swinging at him out, get him out of there. But we are getting a lot of scrambles here. Both these players just trying to find their footing here. Guard cancel, just trying to push them further into the corner here. Opens them up with the empty low. Very, very difficult to block this up there.
Hawks behind. Oh, yeah, back to the other side. That's the right play.
You know, again, just Caster trying to look for their ways in, but Toxic Orange doing a great job of shutting down the approach here. Gonna get this Oki going, but catches them. I don't know if that caught no tech or if they teched into that. I didn't get to see that there, but
yeah, it was kind of fast. This game's very fast-paced.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, you see how fast I'm commentating and talking. It's the nature of the game. Very fast, very fun. You know, Arx's blood. But with that, that'll be the them tying it up 1-1. So this match is going to be 1-2, and the loser of this will be knocked out. So the question is, you know, who has the capacity to adapt here? You know, Caster had a really strong start with the way they were approaching the beginning, but Toxic Orange definitely cleaning some things up last game and just being able to lock them down better and run the pressure a lot better with more successful mix-ups. So it really is a case of who can really secure the momentum first and just keep it as long as possible.
Yeah, especially on their characters. If you get momentum, with Ken, once you get a safe knockdown, the dog will make sure they keep blocking, and if they don't, that's when you get the punish blabbers. You get the axe, keep it going. It will kill them. That's how you get it going. There's snowball effects on both characters. Momentum. It's all a big part of this game, especially with it being very fast, as we said not too long ago.
Absolutely, yes. But, you know, speaking of that momentum, we're going to see Caster, you know, using that conversion, get the horns, gets a red axe here. Oh, but loses it immediately, but still very, very close to getting it here. Pass it back again. Yep.
Oh, it's gone again.
No, they're still in a very good position to where they'll get red X relatively soon anyway. So they just need to get those hits with the axe. So, like, see right here? Next hit here going to be very, very big damage. Baits a deep. Oh my god, the TB whiff, that hurt my soul. That hurt my soul. Seeing that whiff, I had to just stop talking here. Here we go, we're getting the Shadow Frenzy confirmed here. But the Awakening might keep them alive here. Yeah, barely. Both these players one touch now. Oh, but Dog coming in clutch. Yes, yeah, they're Toxic Orange having the better neutral. Well, the character having the better neutral per se. It definitely did help them in that one-touch situation because it's going to be a lot more difficult for Caster to get their last touch there. Here we go. Gets the knockdown. Already in the corner here at the start.
Gonna go for
Nice spinning disc of doom, but does not block the overhead. Had to burst that out there, but back to just vying for space here. But Toxic Orange giving them a little too much space back to the corner. We have to be careful with that. Like, admittedly, yes, we do want to make space to use that dog and throw it out at them, but we also don't want to be in the corner, again, especially against a character as threatening as Labrys, just using those big, huge buttons, that big, huge jumping beat to make sure that it's difficult for Toxic Orange to move there. And already, Caster successfully putting them to the corner. Great DP reaction.
Yeah, I think mid screen's the place to be for Ken in this matchup. Got the frenzy back. Next hit will kill.
Yeah, they don't even need frenzy to kill, but yeah,
DP.
that was a very scared DP.
Oh,
Oh, great game sense from Caster to
sequence of
utilize
clashes
those
there.
resources to continue to confirm and get the kill there. And now, looking at the burst advantage now, another very important thing to take note of in between rounds is that Casters basically has their burst here, while Toxic Orange is not going to have it, especially like as a Shadow Frenzy character. That is a big deal, so you know, there's no chance of just Toxic Orange like getting it confirmed, preventing them from being able to burst out and cashing out with a lot of damage. It's going to take quite a bit of work to get there, but again, we could see it happen depending on how the match goes, or, you know, they might not even need it. We're just looking how they are running their offense here. But Caster just pinning Toxic Orange against the corner, but narrowly able to escape here. Gets to confirm. Just using the DP knockdown, no super afterwards, but Gears here, plus on block reversal, definitely have to learn how to deal with it. And there you go, Caster taking it 2-1 here. Very close match.
Yeah, that gear super is very good to use on defense, I believe, because they can kind of keep the opponent out of possession. Because I don't think it works if you like run up and hit them. Because I think the gears will hit you before you can even hit Labrys.
Well, there is ways to deal with it. You just have, for a lot of characters, it's just finding a way to like air stall yourself away enough to like punish it. But for characters who don't have a tool like that, the best thing you can do is just stand out of its range and then just find a way to go in and punish or time your punish. It's a very weird super. I believe there is a document in the Labrys channel that has ways that other characters can punish it. If not, you know, there's a lot of knowledgeable people in the character chats of the Discord, !Discord, that can help you with that. So, you know, we got a lot of super smart people here.
We're gonna see some Adachi shenanigans now.
Yep, so we got Convo here. We haven't seen them at all up until reaching top 8 here, going up against Deig0z. So this is going to be Adachi versus Yukari here. So Adachi, definitely a character that does thrive in the mid-range with that very great 5C, and also just has a lot of air dominance with the JC as well. But not necessarily like, you know, great tools from far away, which is where Deig0z is going to be operating at their best. But what Adachi does best definitely is snowballing, as once they can get their buffs up with
Mendal is evil to go against because it applies every ailment. It's just something you always gotta be looking out for.
Yeah, Mandala and Awakening is definitely awful to deal with, but even then, just a Heat Riser at the right scenarios could definitely put you in a very, very great position.
Yeah, in my experience in this matchup, Yukiko makes it so you can't really use your D buttons at all as Adachi because the fans are faster than the startup of the debug. So you just gotta get in, rely on your big JC and 5C, make sure there's the burst there. But you gotta rely on those buttons to make sure Yukiko can't get away, because the 5C will, if you let all 3 hits in, it will splinter on the ground and then you can keep going from there.
Yeah, the Persona Perfect there from Deig0z there. That was a really, really clean match there. But here we go, the JC, first hit from Combo. We're getting the action going, get that Zio in. Even though they're not being it, still really good position to be in. AOA here. And we're gonna get the confirm here. We're gonna do some tennis here. Very interesting combo theory that Adachi does have with the way they're able to use those Persona displacements there, where they just knock them up into the air and then just knock them back down with just using JC. It's a very, very cool combo to see.
When I first started the game, it took me a little while to learn the land cancels, but they're very worth it because you can get some very high damaging combos on Adachi with it. That's one of his best starters right there. Sweep into SP gun.
Yeah, there's no way Deig0z was living that, but here we go. We get the next round here. Hopefully we see more of that action from Combo, just being able to approach there. Walked up and baited the DP. The knowledge that Combo had. Gets the command grab here, keeping this pressure ongoing here, making it so hard for Deig0z. On defense, Yukiko definitely struggles a lot because her fastest normal is her 2-way, which is a 7-frame normal, so there's just times when you just literally cannot mash, and you're forced to just use that DP.
Yeah, Onadachi's fastest button is 2-way, but the thing about that is Onadachi's 2-way is not a low, so you don't really gotta worry about the threat of it as much, because you can react to the sweep. So as long as you're just making sure you don't get caught by the grab, because Dachi being a little bit of a fake grappler, some might say, you just gotta make sure you can't get, you can't let him condition you at all.
Absolutely, but Combo successfully able to just turn the momentum around on Deig0z and secure their first game here. Again, like we saw just with Combo just getting in, they were able to make their pressure just so scary to deal with, utilizing that great strike throw that you mentioned prior. And yeah, again, it's a really tough proposition for Deig0z, where a character that has really poor defense, all things considered. So it really is important that Deig0z is utilizing those fans to just try to keep them from getting in as much as possible, and building up those fire levels to just make their zoning even more dangerous. We didn't even get an opportunity to see from Deig0z like utilize their scary Shadow Frenzy confirms or just their fire break setups that this character is known for.
Yeah, Adachi, you gotta look out for the silly options, I'll say, like the things you're not expecting at times. He's very good at making you not expect some things. Adachi's a character that messes with your head.
Yep, but here we go. We're gonna bring them back with the flames. We're gonna. Do we even need the Shadow Frenzy? I feel like this is okay. Overkill.
It's good to secure the round, I guess, but they had the heavy health advantage. I don't know if they needed it.
I don't think they needed it at all. Yeah, because like, it's okay because if they lose, it was a neutral frenzy, so if they lose the next round, they're guaranteed to have burst. So it's always good for a Shadow Frenzy character to have ways to like do it in neutral rather than doing it off of a normal cancel or a special cancel, because if you do it raw like that, then you get to have half your burst instead of losing it all off of a cancel. It's not a trait that every Shadow Frenzy character has, but for those that do, it's definitely a very much appreciated thing.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure all the characters I play actually, or I've played seriously at a time, haven't had a shadow option, so I haven't really been able to explore that much. Adachi doesn't have one, Minazuki doesn't have one, Sho doesn't have one, but the options they get with one more burst opposed to Frenzy are very strong.
Absolutely, but speaking of which, here we are seeing, combos still. Oh my god, they have a lot of health on Awakening. I just looked at that. Oh, with the recoverable health, that was very scary for them to do. Very hard for Deig0z to make that back without utilizing Shadow Frenzy, but they have the burst on deck. Combo is going to have burst real soon. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? I talk about burst and we waste it. Now this is going to be a very bad proposition for Deig0z here.
Pretty big hole got to dig out of.
You gotta sell ice to an Eskimo here now. Like, how are you going to secure the win, Deig0z? Yeah, but they're still doing it. They selling that ice to that Eskimo, just pressuring them, throwing these fans at them, building these levels, building that fire here. I don't know. Deig0z is just that base the burst.
Carmo gave it back. He gave it back.
We are selling.
Now I said we were going to see some Adachi shenanigans. No, we're just seeing shenanigans.
There we go. Activated here now. So now this is going to give all of Adachi's personas different status effects. Notably, JC having Poison, for example.
We don't get to see it.
Did not matter because Deig0z sold that ice to that Eskimo. He found a way.
I think that was the game of all time.
You wanna play with me?
Might have been. Well, no. We still have other games. We can't rank it just yet. But there was a lot of silly stuff from both these players. It's like that Shadow Frenzy burst at the start from Deig0z had to have been a misinput. There's no other explanation I can think of. It's like,
yeah, he's told me
Brian just hit a macro by accident and like must have felt bad about it, but Deig0z was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm gonna win this match. But
yeah, he's learning how to play on a leverless right now, so it's definitely possible.
I see. I definitely remember my time learning to play this game on leverless. It was quite an adjustment for me. But to see Deig0z make it to top 8, even learning a new controller, that's honestly really impressive. I have to give props to him for that.
Yeah, it just shows he's a good player. Like, it shows how strong he is, regardless of how he's playing it.
Yeah, but I mean, it also depends like what controller you were coming from beforehand. Like, would you happen to know were they on an arcade stick before, or were they on a normal controller?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, that's quite the jump. Yeah.
Yeah, I went from pad to levelless, but playing show on leveless isn't that big of a difference to pad. But Yukiko, I can definitely see it being a little bit harder.
I think it's less character and more so just, you know, normal movement too. But there we go. Great air throw again from Deig0z, just sealing that round there. But yeah, back to our conversations. Like, I feel like, you know, because another thing too with this game is like when you're playing it on hitbox, is like some of the hitbox tricks you need to know. Like, there's a way to get supers out a lot faster with if you just hold like one direction and then you double tap down back or down forward depending on the direction you're holding. Yeah, that is one thing you have to get used to on hitbox, especially for this game. But I feel like other than that, it's like, you know, it's pretty standard. Like if you are switching from arcade stick to hitbox, the switch for this game is not too bad. But
for me, the like only issue I find is the quarter circle back, like the double ones, the double quarter circle back supers does hurt my hand a little bit. But other than that, it's not that difficult to transition if you have prior experience.
But now transitioning back to the state of this match here, so you know we're gonna see Heat Riser here from Conball. You know, both these players are playing a very, very strong neutral here. But yeah, that JC gonna knock him straight down. That 5C, oh my God, skewered. Had to burst, but I don't know. We've been seeing a lot of hero bursts. Nobody wants to go down a singular round. Like we can lose the round and have our burst next match. It's okay, but you know, Deig0z proven that it doesn't matter because they still win. They still win.
The superhero showdown here. Like,
yo, we are all heroes. Like, yo, can we play the One Punch Man opening for them real quick? So that's gonna be Deig0z taking it 2-1 here. Conball unfortunately knocked out of the bracket, but still provided a wonderful fight nonetheless there. But now we're going to go back to winners. We're going to go to Ryuzuzu versus Boobus. Again, a matchup as old as time here. Both of these players very familiar with playing each other a lot. Ryuzuzu generally does have the advantage here from past experience, but these are players that both know how each other plays, so it could definitely go either way. What are your thoughts, Gav?
The past brackets that I've seen, Boobus has taken it over Zuzu, so I'm wondering if that applies here as well. I'm seeing a lot of red cards in lobby right now, so very high level lobby we got going on here.
Yeah, we got some grinders on here. They be grinding this game like crazy.
What card level are you, Grim?
What color am I?
Yeah.
Don't ask me that question. I hacked it in.
Yeah, I'm yellow right now. I gotta get the orange.
Yeah, I think I'm at orange right now, but I hacked my red card in. I also hacked God roll in because nobody has that rank legitimately. But
I hacked in King just because it sounds funny.
Yeah, see, unfortunately, if more people played rank, I could get it legitimately. But you know, we just like playing in lobbies, and that is a-okay. It's still proof that the game has a ton of players to matchmake with. You know, you're never gonna have a hard time fighting a match.
Yeah, in the PFC, you get games pretty easily, I'd say, just my opinion. But back to the games here, Boobus is getting the pressure going.
Both these plays are, but what a 2C, just hitting at the perfect angle to snipe Ryuzuzu out of there, and is just gonna keep this pressure ongoing. Gets the cross up, very hard to block here. Gets this cross up again. You know, even though Yosuke doesn't have glide, you still gotta be on your toes blocking this man.
Yeah, Yosuke is a strong character in every version of the games. You always gotta be careful when fighting him.
Alright, does not block the dash up overhead again. That Oki's very hard to deal with. And now Ryuzuzu putting Boobus well out of awakening range, and yeah, do not even give them the chance to get it. Very, very clean play from Ryuzuzu there. Nice, using those boards to wall up. Yeah.
Like the way it's hard to navigate around bands against Yukiko, it's similar to kind of hard to navigate around orbs, I'd say, depending on the character you're playing. Like when I play Show, I find it incredibly difficult with the only ranged option being Kunai. But you can use some meter options like SP Teleport, or you can, if you time it right, you can roll it. But that leaves you a little bit more punishable. You just gotta think about it a little bit harder depending on the character you're playing.
Well, what I will say is that the good thing for Yosuke is that, you know, for being a very fast character themselves, you know, they're one of the few viable characters that can legitimately chase Yukari. Normally, it's not a good idea to, like, chase super fast characters because that's exactly what they want you to do. But the thing with Yosuke is that while that's really his only option a lot of the times, it's still a valid response because of how much screen estate that Yosuke can cover so fast. And that's going to be the first round going to Ryuzuzu there. So Boobus not able to get in and capitalize much, and just Ryuzuzu just dictating the pace of the match and whittling them down there.
Finishing the round with the arrow throw there, it's crazy to me how some of these players react to the players jumping up and just getting the arrow throw instantly. It's like the game's fast, and you gotta be fast and adapt to it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. But, you know, still have time to adapt here, especially with this match being first to 3 here, being that it is Winners Finals. So we're going to have quite a bit of time to see Boobus come up with a plan to secure some games on the board here and turn the situation around here. Especially that with Ryuzuzu changing colors, you know, that's like, you know, counterpicking in of itself. You know, pick a different color, it could change your whole mood. It's like, y'all remember that old game theory with, like, you know, the red versus blue with, like, one color having a psychological advantage over the other in certain games? That's kind of what I'm thinking of with, like, this. It's like, maybe, like, you know, Ryuzuzu picking this blue color because of some psychological advantage. We don't know, you know. I'm not no psychologist, but
I mean, they're pretty similar colors, with Boobus being pink, blue, and green. The only difference is Zuzu's got a little bit of white in there.
Yeah, use the colors to your advantage here, but I also feel like, you know, there's a bit of camouflage here, especially with School Night. Like, that dark blue, I don't know, the more I'm looking at it, the more evil it looks to me. Like, it's kind of hard to see the persona. Maybe I might be colorblind, but that's a little messed up for the way that Yukari uses her persona to just position her arrows and make them track.
It's easy to plan for it. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, they do what they're doing with the stage pick. I'm not gonna lie, that does seem a little scummy now that I'm seeing it a little more, but, you know, if your eyes don't work, that's on you, you know? And what an empty low with that throw cancel.
Mark saying switching colors is an illegal move. How do we feel about that?
You know, is picking a different color like a different character? That's something you gotta think on.
It's like calling the judge constantly in Yu-Gi-Oh! They switch their deck. You gotta do something.
Yeah, Makima sounded like a Rule Shark though. Like, I do play some card games, mainly like Union Arena these days. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! In the past, and it's like fighting against the people who be like, oh no, you already put that card down, judge, he's trying to take his move away. I'm like, dude, stop being annoying.
Yo, Rapius, what did people with glasses do to you?
Fuck the people with glasses? Yo, I have glasses, so I take offense to that personally.
I also have glasses. What does this mean, Rapius?
You know, speaking of glasses, we're seeing some very smart play from Ryuzuzu here, just locking down Boobus here, making it so hard for them to get out, but still, the defense here from Boobus, finding the opportunity to DP, cross up, get it going, but we're gonna DP that's Tantara. We're not blocking none of that.
Negative penalty, you gotta watch out, he can hurt you.
Has to tech the throw here. Great defense again from Boobus here. Making great use of the awakening opportunities. Great 2B. Catches them on the way down. You know, it's like a spike trap in a platforming game. It's like, you know, you saw Ryuzuzu just coming down. They ran out of jumps. And you're just coming down to the pit of doom and lose your life.
That was a little bit of a weird angle to start the combo from. I don't blame Zuzu for dropping that there.
Alright, Super Kaja,
Nothing
do
gonna
not
kill.
drop this. Do not drop this. Get the confirm. Yep, get this. And you're done. Very cool Super as always. And it's going to be Boobus scoring around there. 3.8k on that combo. You know, we say that Yosuke's damage is weak, but with resources, it's actually pretty good. There we go again. Just both players just feeling out for space here. Mainly Boobus just using that JC there, and also those very quick swipes in the air there just to make it really hard for Zuzu to be safe there. But Zuzu gonna get the it's not instant, but it is an overhead. Excuse me. And we're gonna get the confirm here. Get the cross up. Oh my god, I did not block that. That was so dirty.
Trying to do the mid-screen routes from the corner there. The one more burst is just like awkwardly placed, so you can't really get anything there. Oh, you see a lot of flips. This is the flip matchup actually. They can both flip across the screen.
Yep. But speaking of across the screen, we got Zuzu taking Boobus again across the screen here.
Oh, yeah,
oh my god, we just bursted out of anger. I don't blame Boobus. It's like, yo, I'm tired of getting combo. Let me play the game, but not a good time to use a burst there, especially in a match as important as this, because now Ryuzuzu is up 2-0 in winners finals. Boobus still has an opportunity to adapt, but they were making some work there with just using those quick swipes of the JA and JB to just make it really difficult for Zuzu to get a whole lot done. But we have to be careful with how we maneuver around the screen, or else we're just going to get put into the corner, put into a nasty mix-up of doom, and it'll be sad times.
Yeah, Boobus gotta get 3 in a row here, especially against a strong player like Zuzu. You gotta be locked in to get this going. But I believe Boobus can do it. He's very good at the game. He's done it in the past. He can do it now.
You know, I recall you saying that, you know, in the past that Boobus has been taking games off of Ryuzuzu quite recently, so I definitely want to see, you know, some of that action, some of that adaptation, but it's like maybe Ryuzuzu just studied up on this matchup again and just has the one-up against Boobus today.
Maybe I jinxed it. It's always possible.
Maybe, but you know, the other thing to consider is that, you know, these players are both the winners right now. So, you know, if Boobus were to lose, they still have... Oh my god, the first beat. I had to stop talking because, like, that was a crazy nasty first beat with the jump cancel. Alright, there we go, and just gets the two-way here. Get the Tantarafu here, confused. It's gonna reverse your inputs here, but at least it doesn't reverse blocking. Oh my god, back in 1.1, when you had to hold down forward to block, confusion was so evil. That status, legit messed up.
You had to block the down forward against panic before?
Yes, it was bad. It was really busted. In 2.0, they changed that.
Dude,
there we go. Get the super here.
I think I would just give up blocking at that point. I would let them hit me. I'm not messing with my head to change the way I'm blocking. Like, sure, take your combo.
Oh, what an air throw here, and it's gonna apply the poison here as well.
DP.
You know, now that I think about it, if throw applies poison, why don't just all the kunai attacks apply poison? You know, we should buff Yosuke, make his JA and JB apply poison. 5A as well. All his kunai normals apply poison.
All buttons apply poison.
No, not the Persona ones, just the normal ones. You see, I'd be so great at balancing this game because what I just did just makes Yosuke fair balanced.
Yeah. Get him on the development team for...
Yeah. Hire me, Arxis.
Someone at Arxis in Twitch chat? Is that a thing? Do they have a Twitch?
They do, yes.
Yeah, get them in here. They gotta get you on.
Oh, yep.
Oh, that's
no, we did not see that super coming. Every Yukari player does it.
He doesn't have enough of a meter for the cancel.
Oh no, but they just own me. Yeah, it's okay. Very expensive way to keep that safe, but you know, kind of had no. Well, no, they had a choice.
I think if they did Deig0z, they might have been able to punish the orb setup, but I'm not completely sure.
Okay, Boobus does need to approach. They do not have the life lead here, but Ryuzuzu recognizing that they don't need to do anything here. And we got 17 seconds on the clock. AOA seals the deal.
Seen a lot of AOA today.
No, it's if you can't block it, or if your opponent can't block it, why not just abuse it? Like, utilize the tools that are given to you. You know, if you give me a tool bag with tools, I'm gonna use those tools. Oh, the OMB. This might be raps. This is raps. This is raps. Oh my god.
That's 7 seconds.
I blinked. I literally blinked.
I took a second to read chat and I looked back and he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally just blinked. I'm not kidding you.
Small puppy, can we please not make Asterius have 1,000 armor? Can we not do that? They're thanking each other for the game. They're very happy about that.
Absolutely, yeah. That was a really, really great match. But wow, that last one, Boobus is Ryuzuzu is just like, yeah, I'm ending this now. Put the fries in the bag.
I'm eating fries right now. I can use some more though.
From where? I gotta ask.
Burger King.
Why are you eating at some middle Burger King?
Dude, because my dad called me. He's like, yo, you want some Burger King? I'm like, sure.
You should say that answer to that question should always be no. What?
I'm hungry.
Yo, okay, but not for some Burger King. We got that we gotta say no to. Oh my god. I don't remember the last time I had Burger King.
Yeah, the reputation's not great, especially for some other things, but yeah, you gotta eat food.
We don't gotta eat no Burger King. That's almost as bad as like CZ going to Subway years back. Literally held up a bracket to go get a Subway sandwich. I'm like,
never go to Subway.
Thank you. But here we go. We got our next match here. We're going to be having Deig0z going up against Caster. So we did see Caster swap to the Yosuke in another zoning matchup against Yukari. Ryuzuzu specifically.
It seems he's a bit more confident in Labras here, unless he switches next game.
For sure. Or, you know, maybe just Caster's just more confident in like trying their main at the start, which is a valid play.
But I do agree, Burger King fries are drip. I don't understand the hate here.
McDonald's is better though. I have to agree with that.
The McDonald's fries are better. If I could have McDonald's, I would have had McDonald's, but he didn't give McDonald's as an option. So like, what am I gonna do?
You're gonna not eat no Burger King. Speaking of Burger King, we gotta see who the Burger King is here in this match. The Persona King. Bursting out of here. We're gonna already set up the flames here. Get this cross up, get this pressure going, and just I really like how Deig0z just disengaged there with the jump cancel there, just to create more space and put themselves in a more advantageous position because they recognize that against Labras, they don't have to go in. They just have to stay out of Labras' effective range. But Caster just like, nah, I'm gonna get in. What a crazy reverse J. Speaking of which, the reverse, you know, a very, very cool mechanic in this game is the fact that you can, like, air turn. So, like, you can make yourself turn around and, like, give yourself, like, cross-ups or the ability to cross-up a lot more easily than you could in other fighting games. Because you have, like, you know, manual control over that mechanic. It's such a great mechanic, honestly.
Yeah, I think I said it before, but on characters like Minazuki, you can air turn into your Persona buttons and they reach farther. No, air turn J2D just goes to the other side of the screen, which there's no use in that. But air turn JC does reach farther. So being able to manually air turn in this game is very cool.
Yeah, it really is just a beautifully crafted game when you just, you know, take time to appreciate all the intricacies of it.
Burger King fries.
Oh my god, we gotta stop talking about the mid-ass fries! Here we go, the fire break setup here. We're gonna DP right now. That's not the answer. The best response we saw was roll, but honestly, it's not a good situation to be in to begin with. I feel like. Well, let me think of it like this: it's like, are you taking the fire starter, which probably has pretty decent duration? I don't know. A nerd has to correct that on me. Or are you gonna take your chance on roll and get punished like a two-way or something?
When I was like first trying to get better in this matchup, what I would do is I would get hit by the top fan on purpose and then go in, and then I would like attack in. I don't know if that's like the best decision to make a lot of the time, but if you're trying to get in against Yukiko and you don't have like any other good options, that works. Like that's what I would do when I played Adachi, because you don't really have any. I don't think you have any like persona movement options. So your best options are like super jump and that stuff. Like that's what I would do. But I don't know if it's like the best thing to do in matchups like these when you're Labrys.
Absolutely, yeah. And just there, you know, that was just Deig0z just controlling the pace of the match, got them in the fire break setups that were just really difficult to deal with. And yeah, it was just all around a very difficult time for Caster there. So I really am curious to see if Caster's going to consider going Yosuke here, just having that extra mobility to be able to better move around the fans, or if they're confident on... Oh no, we're seeing Yosuke. Oh! We're getting trolled. We are getting trolled here right now. Okay, Labrys it is. So they still seem very confident in the Labrys. You know, they were able to make use of that very big JB that forced their way in, but it really is just an issue of how fast can they get in and maintain their pressure, more importantly, before Deig0z has the time to just whittle their life bar away with just fans and using their persona as a zoning tool as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Caster like personally sees different between this and the Yukari matchup. They would stay as Labrys here instead of just switching to the Yosuke. Because I know he's strong on his Yosuke as well, so sticking with the Labrys, I'm wondering... Oh, color switch? Illegal.
No. It's legal. It's legal. It's not changing the character. It's changing the perspective, you know.
Throwing him off.
That's a crazy J2B. Oh my god, the way it knocked like that. And an OMB already? Oh, okay. Oh, well, we're doing it for Red Axe. You know, I get it. I totally get it. Yep, and that's going to take so much health away.
Combos is you gotta be... you gotta like understand that she uses negative edge on some of these moves to charge them for a little bit longer, and that makes it so I think it makes it so the knockdown's a little bit longer, so you can convert on some of these combos. But that's something you guys gotta be ready for when you're playing Labrys.
Absolutely, but yeah, no, Caster, even though with a very huge life lead and just using that burst as well to secure Red Axe, unfortunately just lost all of that momentum, which is how long they were forced to block all the fans there. But AOA sealing the deal.
But yeah, you can't get the life lead and run away against Yukiko, because at full screen she could still do stuff against you.
Well, no, you can, because you know you don't want the Yukiko to just be zoning you all day if she doesn't have the life lead. She's gonna need to do something to offset that, because the zoning by itself is not too threatening if you don't need to get in. It's more so what she does when she gets in, or like, you know, locks you down and starts like, you know, augmenting her pressure, just augmenting those fire charges, and then gets access to tools like fire break to force those unblockables. That's where things start to become more of an issue. But oh my god, what a very clean open setup there from Caster.
Was the move for him.
Yeah, no, very glad that they were confident in the Labrys. You know, they knew something I didn't, so.
I'm wondering what
Caster just has to repeat that again, and then they should be good.
Yeah, now it's on Deig0z to switch up his game plan.
Alright, so getting to the next round here, just crazy whip. That was a little scary from Caster. Oh, we don't block that overhead. Oh,
DP punish. Oh, bursting out.
No, I would have too. I don't want to get DP punished this early. And just give Caster, like, you know, Red Axe. At least, you know, if I was in Deig0z's shoes, that's the way I would be thinking and how I'd be approaching it. So, very valid and respectable burst, and you'll build it back pretty soon anyway. So it's like, actually, you know, sometimes there's a justification to use early burst here, but still, that is not going to just discourage Caster there from just forcing their way in, just spending the resources on the bull to just cash in and get even more damage as the Ball of Doom approaches.
Sometimes I forget Yukiko DP does like very little damage. I don't think I've ever seen it kill before, but it's definitely something that can, because it does like 100 damage. But
well, it's less for killing and more so just knocking people off and just returning the kill, which it does a very good job at. Because like I will say, for a character with a 7 frame, a bar rate normal, she is in a better position than a character like Margaret, for example, who has that, but then also has a really bad DP.
Do you have any
Or,
idea
like-
it can be used in like corner combos the way like Ken uses his heal routes?
I don't know enough about this character to really answer that for you.
It's worth an ask.
Yeah, no, that's a Twitch chat question, you know. Alrighty, there you go. That's gonna be Deig0z taking the round there. What a hob JA here. Counter hit here. Using the JA, gets the air reset, gets another reset. Oh my god, we are selling to the highest bidder. Okay, okay. Still has a chance. Caster still has a chance here, but on blue axe. Okay, back to green axe, but still not a very good position with that offensive tech from Deig0z. Just wants to keep them in the corner, but what a JB. Huge, huge button.
Deig0z being on a shadow character, he's building up his meter extremely fast. Like, then we're approaching the tier point that one of these next hits is gonna kill.
Absolutely, yeah. No, one clean hit from Caster, and they get the round here, but what a block from anyway. But unfortunately, it was a little too far to like get a realistic punish there. But yeah, just still try to throw out those fans, lock down Caster there. Just keeping this pressure ongoing, just keeping it very clean. What an air throw there. Gonna set it down there. Gold burst is plus on block, by the way. We gotta be careful with that. It did not react to DP. We gotta do that when we're hitting the DP. Alright, now just again, just Deig0z just air dashing around there. Didn't get a punish. That was admittedly a little weird. But just Caster keeping this pressure ongoing. They have red axe too, so this is honestly a very, very rough position and proposition for Deig0z to be in here. But it's already going to push them back. Full screen here. Going to be able to build some more levels too, but going to use the fire super here. Build that level. Build the fire break! Oh, yeah. Yeah, has to roll out, and you know, you just take the 5A starter, which honestly is a better proposition than taking the fire break starter, so... Alright, he builds that second level here, but honestly, they just need one... What are you doing, Cass? Oh!
That goes full screen?
What are we doing? Why did we let that hit? Oh my god, I'm gonna die! OMP, yeah! Kill!
That... I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even...
That is a crazy troll. That is a crazy troll. Yo, I need someone to clip that. That is too funny. What?
Dude.
What?
I didn't know that it went full screen.
Oh
That's
God.
disgusting.
That was literally Deig0z's match. And then Caster's like, you know what? Let it ride.
Let it ride.
We gambling.
That's a wild end to the set.
That was legitimately wild, because I was just thinking like, yo, what is Caster doing? Like, did he give up? Like, oh, my bad, original gangster. You knew what you was doing.
Yo, Caster, you gotta get back in here. Lose your finals.
Yeah, Caster has to come back and is going to face off against Boobus. So, just thinking about like, you know, how the Yosuke Labras matchup will go, I would definitely say like having that huge JB is definitely a big help in mitigating the spots that Yosuke can cover. So it's really going to be how Boobus will maneuver around those JB and like, you know, deal with those aerial approaches from Caster that we have seen quite frankly a lot. Like Caster loves to like air dash JB, just loves to show the threat of that big huge button. And that's literally how they get a lot of their parties started, is literally just JB into good things will happen.
I still can't get over that full screen super.
No, me neither, because it's like, yo, you were trolling.
HP. That didn't have his HP.
He was trolling with that. There was no way that Deig0z should have got hit like that, but that was just really, really unfortunate.
I mean, that's something you can really only get once a tournament. Now that Boobus has hopefully seen it on stream, hopefully he doesn't get hit by it.
Well, to be honest, I feel like the reason Deig0z got hit for that was admittedly just they got caught in a position with bad spacing. Like they were throwing the fans up in the air and then just coming on the way down. They really didn't have a whole lot of options because they were already committed to an option before Caster started charging that. But it's not likely to come up against a character like Yosuke, for example. Nice DP on the way. But it's, like I said, it's not likely to come up against a character like Boobus, because, like, you know, Boobus' goal is to run in. So, like, both of these characters, they want to be in each other's face at one point or another. But, oh my god, where did Boobus' health bar go?
Labrys does a lot of damage. It's on yellow axe, probably better against a red. You always gotta be aware
Well,
of that.
still, yellow axe is still really, really good damage. It's still a really, really scary position to beat. And, oh my god, the 5A check here. That was a crazy spacing trap and you're dead.
Caster, W troll caster.
Crazy air throw here off the start for Boobus here, just keeping the staggers ongoing. We need a DP that on reaction. We got a lot of that. Alright, keeps his combo ongoing here, keeps his pressure ongoing, but jumps right out. We're not taking any of it. Another air throw reset here. Just Boobus been very consistent with that JC reset. Oh my god. That button is so impressive. Like, it's a little, I want to say it's disjointed, but you know, quotation marks because Persona normal, but still it's pretty dang disjointed, all things considered.
Which move were you talking about?
JC.
On Yosuke or
Yosuke.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird of a move, but you can use it on safe jump and it forces the opponent to block sometimes. Oh, gears don't go away?
Nope. That's why, you know, you need a lab how to deal with it. Because it is really, really weird. A lot of times, like mid-serene, like if you can get behind her, then you're okay.
Look, Bull Burst.
But in the corner, it is.
I love
you
Bull
do
Burst.
have to figure out how to stall it. But all right, guard cancel attack out there. We're gonna just let the DP rock. Well, we were a little too far to punish, but both these players are afraid to do so here. But there you go, Caster going to just knock them out with the J2B and take the first game here. This is losers final, so this match is first to 3. So again, both these players have quite a lot of time to adapt and to adapt to the situations here that they're being put in.
Yeah, they just gotta think about their last match, take a second, and think about what they're gonna do next.
For sure, for sure.
Round one.
Alright, there you go. The 5C counter hit here. Going to get this nice knockdown here to start off with. Just harassing with that JC there. Very strong button. Great DP there. Yep, have to burst out. Just get some momentum going here for Caster. Oh, nice AOA here. Just we're not blocking that. We're going to get some really nice big damage. More importantly, we're going to gradually build up that axe level here. Build it up more with the bullhorns here. Set up the ball. Oh my god, that was a very scary DP from Boobus here. We're not blocking. Wake up. That is scary. Not blocking is scary, y'all. I know blocking isn't winning to y'all, but blocking is like safe. It's comfortable versus, you know, getting hits. Scary. Oh, but oh my god, this 2B. This is what I was talking about with Boobus, that Boobus needs to be focusing on checking those aerial approaches from Caster, because that is the main avenue that Caster likes to come from. They're not directly running down on the ground as often versus just finding angles to approach in the air or just use that oppressive JB.
Yeah, Yosuke 2B, it's the button itself, it's a bit misleading about how it looks. It's surprisingly like hits behind, and the hitbox is a bit bigger than you think it would be. So yeah,
like right there. That I honestly would have thought that's a hit, but it does reach a little higher than it seems. Yeah, when you look
it's very
at
strong on reset, so you always gotta be looking at. There it is again. You always gotta be looking for it. That's why approaching Yosuke in the air isn't the easiest thing to do.
Well, again, you know, Caster does have the advantage of just having a super huge JB to work with, which can outrange it sometimes, but yeah, here we go. OMB. Oh, no, but we dropped. Combos are hard. Sometimes. Okay. Negative warning almost there. Yeah, now it's gone away, but it's going to get the knockdown here. Just rolls outward, returning to neutral here, but oh, that 5A is not just. I'm surprised. I genuinely would have thought that Libera's 5A would have been chess property so you could sleep under it, but I guess not. Ooh, that 2B again coming in clutch. Like I said, you know. Oh yeah, coming right in there.
That's gonna.
But yeah, that's punished. There's nothing you can do. But honestly, it was a really good move from Boobus, or a good idea per se, because like SP Tataru is super.
Again?
Okay, yeah, get away from there.
Boobus loves Garu down.
Yeah, both the sides didn't work, but Tataru sealing the deal. You know, if we're gonna be courting with AOA, we gotta be courting with Tataru too. It is only fair because, you know, if your opponent is not ready to react to it, it's just gonna make your life easier, you know? And that's gonna be 1-1 here on the board here, tying it up right now. But still, again, this is first to 3, so this is far, far from over. Okay, here we go, getting into the next game here. Just using that JC to approach there, but already the JB just doing wonders here for Caster. Blocks the AOA, but we're not ready to like punish it because how big that AOA is and how far it pushes out Boobus. Really, really hard to get something there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that'll happen. You'll look back and wonder, how did I not punish that? But in the moment, it's not the easiest thing to do. So you always gotta just think that it's net play, it's pretty fast, and the situation of what that's gonna kill.
Very, very clean round there from Caster. So off to round 2 here, just, you know, Caster looking for ways to just secure their momentum, keep it ongoing. But that rising JC again, which is so many active frames, can be so challenging to deal with. There we go, just again, just controlling the pace of the match here. I really like how Boobus staggers here, just making it really hard for Caster to get a whole lot done here.
With 2B. Oh, God.
There you go, yep, tornado your way out. Oh my god, the cross-up, that was a little dirty. Just went up slightly and then just came back down. I was like, yeah, now you have to block it the other way.
Oh, a lot of
JB, so huge, dude, putting in so much work. Probably doing your taxes. By the way, if you're in America, you know, don't forget to do your taxes. But if you needed to, JB will do it for you for free.
Can JB do my taxes in advance?
Well, it is tax season, so it can do it for you right now.
I don't have taxes.
We don't want to be telling people you're unemployed right now, because you'd be making hella bag commentating.
Yeah. I got enough to buy Burger King fries.
See, that's what we're saying. That's what I'm saying. But you know, maybe we should have spent our tax return on Burger King fries. We should spend it on subscribing to the Persona Twitch. You know, if you can give the sub, you know, it'd be very much appreciated. I had to do the segue. You know, I know it was very shameless, but the timing was too perfect.
You always gotta get the plug in.
Speaking of timing, the timing of that throw, getting the counter hit, also very perfect here. Oh, yep, nice anti-air here. We'll bring them straight down. Gonna OMB, okay. We really see that Caster likes to use OMB like in the first round. Has no problems with it at all. To just do as much damage as possible and get as many resources on deck with the axe level specifically here. Just getting it even higher, getting to red axe already.
Boobus is not wanting to hold anything right here. It's shades of me. I'm seeing not wanting to hold anything and not blocking. That's gonna do a lot.
Blocking's losing. I don't think it's gonna kill, but again, it takes so much awakening health away that the defense modifier doesn't even matter now. We have nice DP and one touch. Tataru?
Ooh.
Oh, the OMC, they were close. They were close because they had the right idea, but I think because they were in the air, they couldn't DP a back in response. That's probably what they were looking for, and they probably got hit because of that.
It was counter hit, so I think they were going for a little overhead mix-up.
No, I don't think so. I think they recognized that, because on the spring, they recognized that they hit block, so it's probably that they were either going to go for that, or they're trying to go for DP. But they couldn't because they were in the air. Oh,
yeah, it's a little bit misleading with the way it hits in the corner.
Oh my god, and Caster now a great axe, the worst axe to be in. That
There's a pool noodle you have there now. That's not that's a battle axe.
It's a little bit hard to get out of. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a kill. Yeah, going in the next round, the gray axe isn't what you want as Labrys, especially against Yosuke, so it's a little hole you gotta dig out of.
Yeah, but it will gradually just build up a little bit, so, you know, just have to give it some time. And there you go, now getting those hits. We're getting back to green, which is where you start. So we're seeing normal damage here. We're going to see some above average damage here real soon here. Yep, starting with the yellow axe.
Already up the yellow. Oh, gold burst.
You know, if y'all have any kids and you need to teach them colors, have them play Labrys. They'll learn real quick.
What color is that? Red axe.
Alright, now just, again, making use of this great movement here from Boobus here, just making great use of the staggers as well, and just, Caster just keeps on swinging into them, you know. I didn't get opened up, I just got tired of blocking. What are we doing? What are we doing? We're trolling. We're trolling. We're trolling. We're trolling. We're trolling.
Oh, saw the play Caster made last game. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna go for an I game.
You know, we didn't let the IK get punished. You know, Caster was merciful there, but it's like, don't let somebody do that to you and let them get away for free.
Yo, Caster, you gotta kill me for that. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, throwing out the JD there, and we're gonna burst out. We're gonna not let you do nothing. Tentarafu.
Don't do it again.
Alright, OMCs to get a Suku Kaja, yep. Oh, yeah, with some big here. Oh my god, how are you blocking this? Tentarafu opens you up? How? How did you block all of that? How did you block all of that? Oh my god, Caster's so crazy. Caster is so crazy. He's so crazy.
Is that the set?
That's the set. That's Caster. Yeah, Caster is going to Grand Finals to get their rematch against Ryuzuzu.
I wonder if they stick for the Labrys this time.
Yo, I'm crying what Markimus said. Glaker instinct. Oh my god.
Dude.
That is an insane comment. What the hell? Oh. But yeah, this match here, we saw this matchup happen prior back in pools when they were fighting for their winner spot in top 6. So the main thing that Caster was getting caught on was that they were approaching with air dash a lot, but they were getting tagged for it almost every time that they did it. So the main thing is that if Caster plans to do well in Grand Finals here, they need to mix up their approach options. They cannot just approach with air dash. They need to find ways to approach on the ground or just different angles to approach with jumping without necessarily using air dash instantly. Like, you know, you can jump and like delay your air dash or just don't use it at all. Yeah, but you have to make it more difficult for Ryuzuzu to snipe your approaches there. What are your thoughts, Gav?
I'm not experienced in any of these characters, so I'm just gonna give from what I watch. I just think against Yukari, especially as Labrys, you gotta make use of your big axe buttons and just get around all those. And then once you get from that, Labrys has some surprisingly good set play that she can use. So if she can get that down, Caster will be pretty well off.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now, getting this match started here already, Ryuzuzu off to a great start, just controlling the pace of the match. But, you know, that is just kind of this matchup here because Caster does need to find her way in. What a snipe out there with that approach there. Getting the overhead here. IDing with the JB, just keeping it ongoing here. Bad clash. But it is okay. You know, we got some work in, and, you know, we're already seeing that, you know, Caster just changing the way that they're approaching. Being more patient here. Even though they're still getting tagged, you know, it is going to happen with the zoning, but it's like, we're going to set out ball. We're going to set out a ball of our own, you know. Taste of your own medicine, but goes away on hit. Oh, that was so close to punish.
Good AOA.
Whoa, good AOA to punish the guard cancel. That was a little crazy, I'm not going to lie. And so now Caster just maintaining the offense, but yeah, guard cancel going to get them out of here once again. Oh, that JC catching the air dash again. You know, with the air dash, you can't block, so, you know, it is a really, really risky movement option, and Caster's going to pay dearly for it.
Gonna kill.
You can win the
Already. And now moving on to game 2 here again, just Ryuzuzu. Just controlling the pace of the match, making it really, really difficult for Caster to get in.
Yeah, versus now that orb on counter hit will do a lot of damage even without meter on Yukari, because she will then get the meter build and do a lot of damage to you at the end of the combo with the SV arrow shots.
Yep, and now just again trying to find the ways in here, but this is gonna be a crazy conversion here. This is what I was talking about earlier, which is, you know, how great just Yukari's conversion ability is, and especially, you know, just Ryuzuzu showcasing that here, just being able to take to the corner, get that OMB. Oh, that is just first. Here's a war.
Super cancel. Yeah, there's another one. Oh, I've never seen this before. Wow.
Oh, we got M Spiro gifting a sub. Thank you for that so much. We very much appreciate it. Now just back to the zoning here, back to the control here, but Caster has to be very careful. And there you go. That's gonna be Ryuzuzu off the first game.
I think you made that gift happen when you told people to do it earlier.
No, reminding people does work.
Yeah, Spiro.
See, it's like advertising. You know, there's a 100% chance no one's gonna buy your product if you don't advertise it. So.
Oh, they got predictions up?
I put it up. The chat was asking for it, and I was gonna just say like, and I was just like, yeah, let me just do it.
Very heavy Zuzu up right now, but I think Caster can prove people wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. But you know, the thing is that, you know, you can always bet on Caster that, you know, Caster does make the win, but it's like changes everything. You know, you get a whole ton of money versus just you making a safe bet, then not really get a whole lot. But
yeah, it's kind of like Caster gambling on that super earlier.
Yo, that was a really good segue. See, you're already getting better at this. Oh my god, this cross-up is so broken and cheap. How are you supposed to block that to force steal? Alright, here we go. Awakening is on deck for Caster. Just gonna help them have a little bit more health and like take more risk to get in. But Ryuzuzu literally on the perfect right now. We gotta do something. We gotta smack them with something.
But not having health lead against Yukari, especially in matchups like these where you're gonna have a little bit of trouble getting in. It's not a good thing to have, because the arrows, when they're shot into the orbs, they auto track and do a lot of damage. Yukari is a very good character, and Zuzu is a very good player.
Yeah, the other thing too to keep note of is that this game does not have dash blocking, so you can, so like during your run skit, you actually cannot block during that period. So it actually. So it's not a valid option to get through the zoning. It's not like a Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue, which they both have that same issue. However, in those games, you can use Flawless Defense or Barrier respectively to stop your run entirely. Whereas in this game, you don't have a mechanic like that to manage that. So it's a matter of you need to be very careful with how you move. It's honestly a big part of why the Yukari zoning is so strong. It's just a lot of the system mechanics in play is like, you know, you can't block on your jump while rising at the start. So there's like no chicken blocking, for example. And also just, again, having no dash block and no way to circumvent that, like in Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, is a very big deal. And that's going to be Ryuzuzu taking it convincingly, a 2-0 there, just making it, again, very difficult for Caster here. So we're going to see, is Caster considering swapping to Yosuke for this round? Or are they going to stick it out with the Labrys?
Yeah, the thing is, the decision here is, it's tournament point. So if you're switching to Yosuke, you're switching to Yosuke for the rest of this tournament.
Well, no, you, oh, no, the reset, you would be able to switch if they lose, but they would need to...
Cool. Alright. Oh, Shadow Labrys.
Shadow! Okay, that had to be misclicked, that had to be misclicked, that had to be misclicked, that had to be misclicked.
It doesn't look like he meant that.
I don't know if they're gonna rock it or if they just have it here.
I don't know.
Do they have a Stabberus?
I don't. They're definitely more of a normal player, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a return to room if that's allowed here. Well, I guess he's gonna let it rock. Yeah.
No, maybe they do, and we don't know what's up.
Yeah, it's just not. I guess they're looking
I'm
to,
just very surprised. I would imagine that normal would be better play here, given you know what you're going up against.
I understand wanting to have Frenzy against Yukari, not let them get the burst and send you back out. But it's just not something I was expecting. I was expecting either that or Shadow Yosuke.
Yeah, same here, but gonna just keep it on going. You know, maybe having more access to the meter is definitely going to help with like getting more of like the 2 and 4A mix-ups, just as a way to like tap on more damage. But no, I imagine this character does have good cash outs in Shadow Frenzy, but I don't think the power per se of Shadows of Stavros and normal Labyrinth or necessarily. Oh yeah, you're getting unblockable. Yep.
Yeah, you can't. Margarula, you can't. Sometimes you just gotta take the hit, but at that point it would kill her. There was nothing you can do there.
You know, when a super is so good that one of the best counterplay is to quite literally take the hit, that says a lot about that move, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why some people play Shadow Yukari just to have it at all times.
No, it's weird because it's like a lot of the best Yukari players we have, they all play normal. They don't really play Shadow. Like, I think our best one is like Sidex that plays Shadow, but yeah.
I mean, Suzu's playing normal here. I believe Blood plays normal.
Blood does play normal, yes.
Yeah. And then who else do we have?
Dunlop also plays normal, so it's like those are really like the main ones nowadays.
Does Migaki play normal?
Migaki plays normal.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I guess having more damage in Awakening is something they want.
That's probably it, yeah. And also just the stability, but there you go. That confirmed there. That's going to be Ryuzuzu once again taking it over Caster 3-0, and is going to be our champion for the Persona Monthly 25 on PC.
Yeah. Zuzu on a very good track record in 2025 and 2026 so far, winning. I think they told me one time they have like 30 Selbing bracket wins these past 2 years, which is kind of crazy. But it just shows how good at the game they are.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, with that was honestly a really, really wonderful match. I hear that Shadow is better in theory, but very executionally difficult to make use of it. And apparently the gain isn't that huge over normal. So to challenge the first part, I'll be honest with you. When you play against a Shadow Yukari, let me tell you this. The most scrubbiest thing they do is that if they drop a combo, they're just going to do Margarula and you have to take a 50-50 anyway. They don't lose anything off of dropping a combo, so it's like, it's kind of a win-win for them if they drop a Shadow Frenzy combo. It's like, if they drop it, they still get a mix-up on you. That is really, really difficult to deal with. But that latter part is like, you know, that is true that, you know, the gain for playing Shadow Yukari is not that big versus, you know, the stability of normal. So, you know, and in a tournament setting, I will say that, you know, stability is something that, you know, you would value a lot over volatility. But still, I definitely feel like, you know, if the playstyle definitely appeals to you, like having the chance to, like, you know, steal around with just a very huge cash out, don't count Shadow Yukari out. Still a very strong character nonetheless.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's always preference. So whoever the player itself wants to play, that's who they're going to use, and if they can make it work.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with that, I do want to remind fellas that, you know, if y'all play on PSN next week, we are going to have our monthly for PlayStation. So please, please join up in the Discord, !Discord. Check in the announcement room channel. We got the sign up for the PSN one there as well, which will be again next week, starting at the same time. It's going to be at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 3 o'clock p.m. I forget time zones, yo. PST? But yeah, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Yeah, EST versus whatever the time zone is in the West Coast, whatever y'all weirdos use. But y'all know. Y'all know.
Need to come over to the East Coast.
That's what I'm saying, you know, we got a lot of great stuff here. But anyways, PSN Monthly, next week, same time at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you play on PSN, pull up to it, please. If not,
Persona Fight Club.
We will bash you with hammers. In Minecraft. And Persona 4 Arena Alternates.
Yep, we'll
yes,
play,
you can
we'll
play
all
Minecraft
play
and Persona.
We'll all play Labyrinth and bash you in with an axe.
So true. But with that, that'll be everything for this tournament. So first off, I just want to say thank you, Gav. It's been great having you as a co-commentator. You know, we had a lot of crazy, amazing matches. Thank you, Chris, for streaming the match, streaming all the matches, streaming the entire tournament. And thank you to everybody who played and participated in the tournament. The matches that we got to see, definitely all heated and amazing matches. And, you know, very great to see how y'all have grown as players. And I hope to see y'all in more tournaments.
Yep, this game's very fun. I hope to see you all next week. And let's always make it a good one.
Absolutely. So with that, this is Grim Flash signing off.